USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping!
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go, the Pat McAfee Show. Feel Good Friday, October 18th. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat here at his desk in Indianapolis. He's in Eugene, Oregon for a big one, boys. Football! It's all the buzz. Last night we saw an amazing Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. Obviously, the New York Football Giants. Bruce Brown, behind the glass there's pretty excited. He's been walking around with a little pep in his step because those Giants just absolutely dominated last night against the Philadelphia Eagles. I tell you what, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, these guys.
4, 4, 6.
I feel like there's some new life, huh? There's a new life in New York for this New York Giants football team. Brian Dable, Brian Burns on the defensive side of the ball. These guys. I tell you what, boys. Connor, what do you think, Boston Connor? You think this New York Football Giants team are they on the up and up? Are they going to have a chance to make the playoffs and make a run?
I mean, yeah, I honestly think so. I don't know about making the playoffs and making a run, but this is the first time in 5 years where you watch a Giants game and it's like, okay, they got something. Like they have some sort of future.
It all starts right there, right?
Yeah,
it all starts with Jackson Dart. This dude just breathed life into this team. I love all the celebrations, the dances, everything he's doing, but bringing this young energy, I feel like, I don't know, it just elevates everybody. Everywhere you look, I mean, Cam Scatterby just runs his head through everybody.
Yeah.
Who's going to tackle this guy?
Nobody.
That's who. Not Zach Bond.
Yeah, nobody last night. I think the big thing for the Giants, too, is like whatever they do, I mean, you're not going to call it a success already. It's early, but like they lost Malik Neighbors for the year. It was kind of just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But like if you have your quarterback, Scatterby looks great, and then you add Malik Neighbors to this team, like all of a sudden, I'll tell you what, you're cooking with some fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this Giants defense, too, they shut out the Eagles offense in the second half, which just seems to be unheard of. The Eagles, we'll get to them. We'll talk a little bit about them. I don't know what's going on there. There's a lot. Was there a meeting? Was there not a meeting between the big three there on offense? As you see, Brian Burns, this guy, I love watching him play. 7 sacks. He's tied for the league lead in sacks. I think Abdul Carter, you can see him working these little games. Ooh, nice little grab of the offensive lineman you see to help your buddy out. It's still legal. It still works. Just relentless. And Jalen Hurts and them, they just didn't have a whole lot of answers, I guess, offensively. Now, Jalen Hurts, who's that deep ball, third quarter?
Oh.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, you got to complete those.
You overthrow one like that.
That's not helping the narrative.
Yeah, especially in a game like that. I don't know what the Eagles, I think they're going to be all right, but I feel like people – I don't know. There's some questions right here. We got to hit that one. We know that. What Lane Johnson said, their offense needs to be less predictable, I believe. What do you think, Ty Schmidt? You think there's are there issues? Is Philly going to have some issues? Is this going to be a lingering thing, or are they going to turn this thing around?
I mean, it's still early, but this does feel more like that Eagles team who kind of started 10-0 and then limped into the playoffs and got beat in the first round. It feels a little more like that than some of those Chiefs teams who it just didn't really look great all year, but they still advanced in the playoffs. Like, I just don't know how. I don't know. It's like it's Dr. Heckle and or Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one week it seems like they have everything figured out. The next week they don't, and they ran into a buzzsaw last night.
Well, we heard there was a meeting, right? We heard there was a meeting between who, Ty? Who had this?
Saquon, Jalen, and A.J. Brown had a hour-long conversation.
I heard 2 hours.
Multiple
at one point, right?
hours. Yeah, there it is. Lasted a couple hours. And then A.J. Brown, after the game, was basically just like, I don't know what the hell. Here it is.
Yeah, here we go.
What was behind that?
I don't recall the meeting.
Okay, the meeting that we're at.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Those guys said it did happen.
You ain't talk to them.
You weren't in the meeting,
I don't recall.
or you don't want to talk.
I don't recall.
Yeah, so like you hear that, and that's weird, and then you hear talk about predictability, Lane Johnson with the offense and stuff like that, and Kevin Patu blow at calling plays was what that's what people were saying, and we said that was bullshit. Okay, because then you hear AJ Brown say, and I'm not sure if we have that clip too, talking about Kevin Patullo basically like, yeah, no, Kevin he's amazing on the sidelines. He's trying to get us open. It's more so about player execution, and then like that narrative, and I don't know if it's AJ Brown on an island, saying this, Kevin Patullo is great, he's trying, and then everyone else is saying, we're predictable and stuff like that. Like the culture feels weird in Philly. It doesn't feel
They're not on the same page.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not the same Philly that we've known. To Ty's point, at least it's happening now, maybe. Like, at least they aren't 10-0, and then this starts happening. Like, it's early enough where, like, they could possibly save it. But that was the second half of that game was the ugliest half of football we've seen from the Eagles in a long time.
Yeah, it's tough. Anytime you lose, these things start to, like, they come into focus. They get pushed to the front when you, if there are communication situations going on with the team, with the offense. I don't know, but what about this tush push, guys? We still feel like you think they're going to officially ban this thing? So, 4 straight plays we ran this guy?
Yeah.
4 straight tush pushes. I feel like the internet lit up, the stadium lit up, the sidelines lit up, the coaches lit up. Daboll saying, obviously, you can call it. Look at these guys. They're jumping. It's false start. We're getting a quick lead or an early jump. The Giants almost stopped it, though, right?
I mean, technically, they kind of stopped it 3 times, or they definitely stopped it twice. They picked up the 4th down and then the touchdown, obviously. And, yeah, the whole internet running it 4 times in a row.
Does everybody hate it? I mean, is it just Eagles fans that like it, or what? Where are we at?
At this point, majority is just Eagles fans like it, especially because the 4 times in a row yesterday really pissed everyone off.
Yeah.
Daboll.
I didn't love it. 4 times in a row.
That would have been an easy false start to call.
Yeah, and definitely.
The first starts at all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I also don't know this for a fact, but I'm guessing that even Eagles fans are maybe getting to that point. It's like, this team
Let's get Saquon a touchdown, they're probably thinking, right?
Sucks. The only time we score is when we do the tush push or the little shovel pass to Dallas Goedert. Like, that is their offense. They almost look like an offense from like the 1910s right now.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. Honestly, I'm trying to form my opinion on the tush push. I get it. Like, I understand it doesn't look pretty. This isn't like traditional football, whatever. But I don't love it. But I guess I'm not a huge. I don't know. I don't think you should ban it just because they're good at it.
Sure, I agree. But last night was the first time where it was okay. This sucks. I have always been tush push is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. And I think we all have had that. Same viewpoint. Like, if you can't stop it, like, they can't just ban it. But now that there's offsides and false starts on every play, and I'm assuming more than anyone, the coaches are definitely telling the refs, like, hey, the biggest thing to watch is that before the tush push, they jump.
It's an emphasis now.
It's an emphasis, yeah, and they're not calling it. So, like, with them not calling it, with them having A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley, all this talent, and this is the play that they kind of hang their hat on, like, there's so many different things that make it just like, okay, this now sucks. It's too much. The refs can't officiate it correctly. Like, they've proven that. It's not as if last night was the first time this was happening. This is the first time on primetime football where they had the false start. Like, if the refs can't officiate it correctly and it's just I mean, I'm not going to say it's not football because it is. It's lining up and smashing you in the mouth. Like, that's what it's all about. But it's not, typical football play. The stuff off of it is sick. Like the little shovel pass is sweet. The handoff they did to Saquon against the Bucks, and then he walked in.
It's the 4 straight times in a row.
Yeah,
it's the 4 straight times, I think. And I believe, Pat, I think you maybe, where are you? I know you took a second to get your connection situated. What's up, Pat? Where are you? What are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm in the East End Zone Terrace here at Autzen Stadium, and it is beautiful out here. Now, last night I was lucky enough to be in New York, okay, so I went from Indianapolis over to New York. Got a chance to go celebrate Kalen Irsay, one of the owners, one of the big 3 of the Indianapolis Colts, win a award for a Project Healthy Minds event Carson Daly put together in New York City. Okay, so that's what I did last night. Okay, that's unbelievable. There was a lot of moments last night where I was looking around with the people that were in the room that we were in, and my wife and I obviously were pumped up that we were invited to go get dressed up and have a little night. It was nice to see the wife all dolled up, looking like an absolute rocket out there. And, got a chance, take some pictures, we don't do a lot of handshaking. I'm not a big handshaker. We live in Indianapolis, Indiana, so we don't have to go to these happy hours where people, fake meet and do all that bullshit. Like that. I don't. We go to the Super Bowl. We go to the Ray Row and then the house that we're staying at. We don't go to the events. Like I don't enjoy those things at all. It's not the cut of my jib, and it's not really, because it's all a bunch of, it's so much always. Isn't it, AJ? I think you could speak for these events are so much always. I think that's a good way to describe it.
It's been overwhelming to walk into those situations sometimes.
Yeah, so don't normally do this, but we were, pumped that Kalen invited. So Kalen and Sam have become really good friends, actually, over, like the last year or so. And I've known Kalen since, obviously, I get to Indianapolis. We're about the same age. So we kind of know each other, had similar groups and been to, similar places and hung out. So it's like at this stage of her life, I think there's a lot going on for her. I think she's trying to balance a lot. And her getting an award at this Roger Goodell was there, and we entered a room, and he got "What's your name?" Whoa! What's your name?
Whoa!
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. That's a whole nother conversation. I would certainly have that conversation the other day. I will say this though, Roger Goodell, the man. I got a chance to be around him for a long time last night in a comfortable setting, and the way he handled it, the way he moved, the things he said, I think he's aware of absolutely everything. But getting a chance to go and celebrate Kalen, my wife and I were honored and pumped to go do it. So we flew over there, got a chance to do the whole thing, then hop afterwards, because I guess there's not enough air traffic controllers. I guess is something that's currently happening. Oh. So had to fly out of a different place. Yeah. Sure. So then we all go. We're on a helicopter. Okay. So we're taking a helicopter now to a plane to fly to leave an event that Roger Goodell was at, and maybe some ex-Royals. Okay. Wow. And Kalen Irsay. Well, yeah. The people that were in this room, I was not supposed to be here, and I actually got shooed out of a room. I was not supposed to. That actually happened right here, double-handed. Excuse me, please get the hell out of here. But it was an incredible night. Carson Daly, absolute dog. He is the man. Then obviously fly over here. Then we fly to Oregon and landed like 3 a.m. here. Didn't even get a chance to really see the postcard picturesque setup that we have. But boy, this morning once I woke up, the hotel that I'm staying at is in a nice isolated area. Got a chance to get out, smell the air out here, look around at these trees. It is a beautiful place out. It is you're flying a long time on a plane, but anytime you're doing that, normally you're going to end up in a postcard. And that is certainly what this place is. And there's cranes everywhere because they're still building it up. Obviously, everybody talks about the NIL era being very good to Oregon. It's like, well, they got a head coach that's able to drive the ship, too. I think that is a necessity at this stage. Everybody talks about money, money, money. It's like, I think a lot of places have money that aren't able to manage it. Where's the money going? Who are they picking? How are they doing? How are they building a culture? How do you maintain an edge? How do you get guys to travel all the way out to Oregon? It's like Dan Lanning is a beast. This place is all the way behind him. And Fernando Mendoza and the Indiana Hoosiers come in here undefeated again. Okay, and they're putting up and doing things that not a lot of people have seen in college football. So it's going to be a magical time out here. And I am pumped and thankful to be here. They gave us great hospitality. Give me a damn box as soon as I walked in. Look at this. It's kind of what we.
Oh, hell yeah!
Damn, that's Oregon football, baby.
It's kind of, this is what we've always thought about Oregon football. Like AJ, remember back in the day, whenever we were in college, it was like, well, Oregon guys have like 45 different uniforms. They got every single pair of Nikes, Jordan. They got everything. That's a good recruiting tip. Like, hey, come here. You're going to have the nicest Nike stuff, which was obviously innovative ahead of its time whenever it came to uniforms and everything. Our lockers, I think I remember their lockers having like a TV in each one and chargers and everything, and that being like a selling point. That was like a selling point for this school. As soon as I get here, they still got that fastball if you need it. I mean, a full box of shit. Shoes, hoodies, T-shirt, this hat I'm wearing now. I will say, I had to take off 14 stickers off of this thing.
Yep.
These days.
They even got like a bent one that's going around that you gotta like get get the corner of. So we got a lot of stickers on this thing. I think we know it's legit, and I'm thankful that it is legit coming directly from the people at Oregon who've always been good to us. So on that note, let's talk about the tush push, okay? Let's talk about tush push.
Yeah.
So I'm watching game on iPhone. Okay, on table with a lot of actual china around it.
Sure.
A lot of actual china.
China
around
plates.
Yeah, China plates. Yes. Kay Adams sitting to my left. My wife to my right. My wife has her phone playing. We are right in front of stage. Okay, we are right in front of stage. Left center stage. Ex-Royals right center stage. Carson Daly left center. So we're right there in the front. And we got this game on, obviously we're watching it, and I see the 4 straight tush pushes, Donner. Okay, I'm watching what's going on. And I don't have the time or the ability because a lot of eyes on me. Too many, I'd say, which is once again why we don't do the things, go to these things. But I was honored to be there. I wasn't able to go on my phone and see the reaction. I assumed, though, that people were going to lose their mind. And allegedly, that is certainly what took place. There was people calling to obviously ban it. There was people saying, hey, if you want to run a play out of town, run that play 4 times on national television and make everybody see how terrible it is. I saw a lot of people saying that. And I thought that was a pretty clever thing. But I think it would, the false start's obviously outrageous, but I think this is the most Eagles move of all time. Now, I think the Eagles are currently in an identity crisis. Yeah, I think the Eagles don't really know who they are anymore. And if you look at not only fourth quarters, but only the second half here, you look at the stats. I wasn't able to catch the entire game. I was watching the game, watched the recap. I didn't see every single snap. But second half's become a problem for this Philadelphia Eagles team. Did we ever think that about them last season? No. 2 seasons ago, though, whenever they lose 6 straight to end of year, yes, we thought that. So it's like, are these the old problems creeping back in to the Philadelphia Eagles, or are these brand new problems? And maybe is there a little bit of a locker room situation brewing? You know, I hate doing that. I hate even asking that question, especially this early in the season, to a world champion team. Okay, AJ? Oh, this team has won the world champion. They are the reigning, defending, undisputed. Shout out to Paul Heyman. World champions right now. And to question their anything is a little bit asinine, especially because they're 4-2 now. Okay, so they have a great record. Yeah. But you start looking at some things, and it's like, this is abnormal for this team. I think the 4 straight tush pushes, not abnormal. It was 3rd and short, 4th and inches. Then they're on basically goal line. They're going to run that thing. That is, they have proven that. That's the only thing we know about the Philadelphia Eagles. Everything else, it's like we have no idea. Are all these guys going to be on this team 1 year from now? Ooh. Are we staring down a potential Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson full blow up situation in Philadelphia? It's like, how can you not start asking those questions whenever these things start leaking? AJ Brown, I don't know about that meeting that everybody else said I was at for a long time. So, you got to ask them. It's like there's weird shit going on with this Philadelphia Eagles team that we don't expect. But I believe in Coach Sirianni. I believe in him being able to cultivate a culture. And, I don't know about the tush pushes because that's just Philadelphia Eagle football at this point. But I don't know about the Philadelphia Eagles in a locker room. This feels weird. This just feels very weird, AJ. Don't you think?
Yeah, it feels a bit abnormal for the defending champions. But that's the thing. I don't know. You're gonna scrutinize, especially national TV game Thursday night, all of this stuff. They came off a championship last year, and we're going to sit there and everything is under a microscope. So they'll be all right, but
The city doesn't help either.
Well, that's Philly, man.
I know.
But the highs are high, the lows are low,
I'm saying,
right?
if this was in Indianapolis, Colts had won a Super Bowl last year, and then they started 4-2, and they didn't look great or whatever, and they had a bad loss, say, to whatever, the Jags or Titans or whatever coming up on a Thursday night, I'd be like, whatever. But when you get in towns like this, they don't love if you don't look perfect every single game. So the city doesn't help. I'm sure it doesn't. It adds to the locker room dynamic and stuff like that, and the players not getting the touches and stuff that they want. But it's a whole. Plus, Kelly Moe went down to New Orleans, new coordinators. There's a lot of factors adding into kind of the whole Eagles situation of a 4-2 team that doesn't look as good as they did last season when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, hold on.
Couple
Didn't they
rookies
look
too.
bad early though? Didn't they look bad early? I mean, there's so many questions. Last year, one thing, were they 2-2? Al Michaels said or whatever. So they lost some games early, and they were calling for everybody's head early last season too. It was Nick Sirianni that was going to get fired last year. Whenever he was doing his entire thing, now it feels like a Patullo issue. Even like Lane Johnson and the boys are starting to talk about how predictable their offense has become. That's never good. Joining us now is a man who might have a little bit more information on the subject we are discussing. He's a Michigan man. He's also senior NFL insider for ESPN. The man who's always cooking in the kitchen, the chef, Adam Schefter.
Schefter! Pat, that looks pretty cool out there in Oregon, that gift box and everything like that. Did you thank Mr. Knight for that?
So, Mr. Knight, probably inevitably the chain of command thank I should get to, but this came from athletic director Rob Mullins, good guy, great guy. You know, he's Morgantown, West Virginia guy. Now he's the AD at Oregon in the middle of this. They got cranes everywhere here, and they also got a lot of Nike merch. That hoodie didn't fit necessarily perfectly, so we're going to give it another go in this box. So you're going to have to deal with me. Maybe things will start changing here. But we need to talk about what's going on in Philly. Weird. This feels weird. Now, we believe in Sirianni being able to kind of, right the ship. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, there was a lot of alleged issues last year. I think something was even said on radio about a potential issue that happened. And then when they win the Super Bowl, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are the ones dumping the Gatorade on Nick Sirianni, actually. So he, former wide receiver, feels like he had to do a good job last year as they became a run-dominant team to win a Super Bowl to keep everybody going the same direction. Is this carryover from last year? What do you think is going on over there? And how do you feel about the state of the Philadelphia Eagles right now?
Well, first of all, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, I think they had the same record at a similar point in the season. They were 3-2 during their bye, went in, had a bunch of meetings, and came out and then just steamrolled the rest of the NFL in the second half of the season. And I think they've got a long weekend now to correct some of these things. But look, it certainly seems like there are issues that this team has to address. You mentioned the offense being predictable. Dan Orlovsky did a great breakdown on Get Up yesterday morning of how you could tell what play was coming. And that was Dan in studio. And you can only imagine what it's like for other defensive coaches and coordinators to figure it out, how Saquon lining up next to Jalen Hurts or right behind him usually was an indication of whether it was a running play or a passing play. They'd become predictable. You heard Lane Johnson after the game say they had become predictable on offense. And I just think that this is not to blame Kevin Patullo, the new offensive coordinator. I just think that's a tough job to do. There are 32 of them in the NFL, and there's an art to calling plays in the NFL. And there aren't a lot of great play callers, and it's not something you just pick up even if the personnel and the talent is really strong and just think you're going to come out rolling. Just think of anybody starting any job. It takes a while to pick up the nuances of that job, to understand the intricacies of that job, to figure out the way to do that job. And I think Kevin Patullo is in the process of learning that. But the issue is that we live in a world where every action is scrutinized, criticized, debated, and they're living in a world where they set the bar so high. They've won, 20 of the last 22 games now, 21 of 23. So even when they lose, they come under the scrutiny because there are questions, there are issues that are real. But I think they've got some things going on the offense side of the football that have just spread out and affected the team and affected the way they've performed. And so far, it's been a disappointing start, but it was disappointing last year, and they figured it out and turned it around.
Yeah, there's certainly an opportunity for that to happen for the Philadelphia Eagles this season, and we would not be surprised, I guess, and this could potentially become the story of this particular group of Philadelphia Eagles that could be in the middle of beginning a dynasty, although it doesn't feel like it at the moment with the questions that are being asked. And you talked about somebody picking up a new career and just, going off without a hitch. You forget about what A.J. Hawk did whenever McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk launched.
Hell yeah.
A.J. Hawk dropped in and was batting 1,000. What happened last night in baseball, Ty? Something big, I heard.
Yeah, the Dodgers advanced on a pretty brutal play, beating the Phillies. Phillies had a chance, made an error with the bases loaded in the ninth. Kind of heartbreaking, actually. So, yeah, he threw it away there.
For Philly.
Yeah, not great. Not a great night.
Philly.
All right, tough night for Philly, but New York finally gets a win last night. I think they desperately needed it, obviously. The Giants pull through 2 rookies, Jackson Dart and Scatterboo. 4-4-6 are all over everybody's timeline right now. And there's highlights from Scadaboo whenever he was in high school doing the same shit he's doing right now. This dude has been a rolling ball of bust your ass since he started playing football. His mom told a story on College Game Day whenever we did a feature on him about him taking his brother's pads and running into telephone poles. Last year when I learned of this man, and more specifically, the size of his head, okay, his head size, he's like A.J. Hawk. He utilizes his head as a weapon because it actually is. It's bigger, it's tougher, it's thicker, I think, than most folks, and he utilizes that. And he is a dog. There he is.
There we go.
He's an absolute dog. At Arizona State, he was electrifying, and everybody was like, well, his size, with the way he plays, he can't be Mike Allstar at that size. And then you hear his teammates talk about, he's like, this guy's an idiot, but he's the man. He might be the Rob Gronkowski of running backs. Actually, like he seems to have a football IQ that's like through the roof, an infectious personality, and everywhere he goes is seemingly having success. This guy is a dog through and through, and his dad, I think, owns a pest control company. Okay, so you're talking blue collar, absolute dog. Literally generational, and he is entertaining to watch, and so is Jackson Dart. Can you talk a little bit about how special this Giants team is? And follow up, why didn't we have Jackson Dart starting at the beginning of the season? Schefter, why did we not know at the time that he was the guy?
A few things here. First of all, these two guys have brought an incredible amount of juice. All of a sudden, a few weeks ago, Malik Neighbors tears his ACL. Everybody thinks the season's over. They're left for dead. And now it looks like this franchise has been infused with juice. Jackson Dart has got so much swag to him and so much confidence that I don't even know that he realizes that he shouldn't be going out and beating the defending Super Bowl champions, but he did. Cam Scadaboo runs like he's a character out of the Flintstones, and to me, you could start calling the guy Bam Bam Cam Scadaboo right now.
Okay, Schefter. Okay, Schefter.
Bam Bam Cam.
Bam, bam, Cam. Bam, bam, Cam.
Make sure you get credit for that, Schefty.
TM.
Yeah, that's not a bad name. That's not a bad name. Bam Bam Cam Scadaboo. I like the way it comes out right there. Bam Bam Cam Scadaboo. Yeah, I like it.
The Flintstones, right out of, what do they call that? The town that
Bedrock.
Bedrock.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Bedrock. Straight out of Bedrock, and that guy runs hard. And yeah, Mike Allstott is a great comparison, but he looks like he wants to just run you over. He's the human tush push, is what he is. Like the Eagles have a whole unit going. This guy pushes everybody by himself and just runs over people. Like this is Zach Bond right there. Zach Bond is an all-pro linebacker, and it's like, get out of my way. So these two guys, these two rookies, boom, they have just filled this team with energy. And if the Giants, just think about this. I know there's so many games in the NFL that go this way, but they were in Dallas. They went to overtime. They could have and should have won that game. They'd be 3-3 right now, and we will be talking about them and saying, could they win the NFC East? That's what you'd be talking about if they had won the game in Dallas. But they didn't.
Bam, Cam, Scadaboo. The huge push. This dude is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about a three. If they were 3-3, with these two rookies being the conversation piece and seemingly being perfect for each other, but not just each other, they're perfect for Daboll. Okay, we obviously have seen how Daboll operates with Hard Knocks. We respect the way he runs those meetings, how he runs his kind of draft evaluation process. I've gotten a chance to chat with him whenever he was in town for the combine. Feels like he is a guy that is very similar. He's a football guy through and through. Everybody said he has this incredible ability to bring out the best in people, and then we've seen it not really work at the New York Football Giants for whatever reason. And then obviously Hard Knocks opens up, and we learn even more about him and the entire operation, entire process. And then Saquon does his thing. It's been a dump on the Giants operation process for some time now, I would say, from a lot of different people. Daboll feels like he's got these two sons. Okay, it feels like they are maybe his boys. These are Daboll's boys right here, Cam Scadaboo and Jackson Dart. And it feels like they're building something special. And I think he even cares for him like he's their damn father. And last night, Daboll maybe ended up in some shit. Are we thinking that he's maybe he's going to be in some stuff for some stuff that happened last night, even though they get a big win?
There was the incident here where Jackson Dart goes down, and he's hit on the shoulder. If you watch the replay, but he has to adjust his mouthpiece and his helmet. This is a better angle of it right here. Hit right there in the shoulder, goes down, his helmet gets dislodged, and it looks like to the overhead spotter, okay, we got to get this guy in the medical tent. And Jackson Dart goes over to the medical tent. Brian Daboll goes over to the medical tent, which is a no-no. Coach is not allowed in the tent, near the tent, has to stay out of the tent. There he is, peeking his head into the tent. And the NFL said today that it is initiating a review of what occurred last night. Now, Brian Daboll apologized to the head trainer right there for getting heated because the head trainer or the head doctor is trying to be a part of the decision-making process. He doesn't even make the final decision, but he's a part of the team there. And Brian Daboll obviously didn't like what he heard, but he apologized to that man.
Go!
Say, I'm going to burn a timeout if I need him back. Like how quick he said I need to burn a timeout.
That was after Russ didn't pick up the 3rd and 9. He's like, come on.
Yeah.
Boy, tough
In
night
the
for
dirt.
Russ.
Russ throws it in the dirt, gets his ass booed out of the field, and then all of a sudden, the head coach, offensive coordinator goes, oh, no, where is this? Let's go! That is worst-case scenario for Russell Wilson. All the parts. The let's go thing, certainly cherry on top of it all, but it has been a week of fines. And has there been ever, first time I think we got a chance to see inside the tent, you actually sent me this tweet moments before we went live. I think the guy's name is Dahn, so they gave a tour of the blue tent for the first time last night before the game. Here's Dr. Sills.
Never any coaches in here, never any other players in here, never anybody else.
Where's the P-Buck?
And athletic trainer will be in here too, but never more than those people. Never any coaches.
They put that out before the game. Never. And then Dave was like, "No,
we might see one." And then Cam Scatterbo went in there too. Like it never happens, but it's gonna happen tonight. Just hours after Alan Sills was in there, right? Like. Again,
I shouldn't laugh. We shouldn't laugh. Obviously, it's very serious, and that blue tent should be a sanctuary and an escape for medical professionals to decide what's best for the player. I understand that completely.
But I'm just telling you, only in the NFL could you have the medical director giving a tour of it right before the game, saying this is never where a coach or a player goes, only to have those situations unfold right after.
So the NFL obviously going to have to set precedent here with the fine because I don't think we've ever seen this, as Dr. Sills was alluding to. This never happened. So it's been a week of fines for people though from the NFL that aren't players, right? This feels like this is something. Do we know what this could be in the proximity of?
Listen, first of all, I don't know how new the blue tents are, but it's not like they've been around forever. So what is it, the last decade or so? And I don't recall a coach going into the tent or going by the tent, and I don't recall a player going in there other than to obviously be checked, which is what it's there for in the first place. And the league takes those issues very seriously. The NFLPA is going to take those issues very seriously. There's a perception here. Look, and we've seen the league this week, totally separate issues. But Jerry Jones makes an accidental gesture to the fans in that very stadium, $250,000. Jonathan Gannon gets fined by his team $100,000 for sideline altercation with Amari DiMercato. So it was a week of fines, and there's going to be something that comes from this, some sort of discipline, whether it's to Brian Daboll alone or Brian Daboll and the team or Brian Daboll and Cam Scatterbo, Cam Scatterbo. We'll see how this all shakes out, but the NFL obviously has launched a review of this entire situation, and we'll see how it plays out.
Make sure you get that in. You got to make sure you get that. Cam Scatterbo. That's a good name. Hey, that's a good. I see the shirts already. What was that? Ty, what was that movie? John Goodman was in it, I think. King
Ralph?
The Human.
Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh, that was a good movie. Wreck-It Ralph's a good movie. The Flintstone movie. Isn't there like a human one?
Oh, yeah. John Goodman was Fred Flintstone. That is correct.
Great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Okay, so whole summer I watched that movie every day.
Great poll.
I had a neighbor, that we were sleeping at his house every night. Only had that movie. That was the only movie he had. We watched that thing.
That's awesome.
Through and through. He was such a good guy. Barney's such a good guy. He takes the test. He takes the test. For Fred and Barney take a test to get a promotion. Okay, and Fred obviously dumb as rocks. He's got a son named Bam Bam. And Barney, this guy's super genius, a little bit of a nerd though. They take this test. Barney feels like he owes Fred this is such a good story of friendship. So he actually takes Fred's test, puts it in his entry, and takes his test, puts it in Fred's thing. Fred becomes boss, smartest guy ever stepped foot on the ground.
Yep.
They promoted him.
Yeah.
This is the best test score we've ever seen. All of a sudden, Fred gets a little bit too big for his britches. And I'll tell you what, that's a good story of triumph. It's a good story of losing friendship, losing yourself, and then regaining loyalty at the end. That's a good movie. That was a good trip down memory lane there with Bam Bam Cam Scatterboo. The amount of photos I think that we could have in branding is a good thing. The human tush push, also not bad. You know, because we have human torpedo. Obviously, that's been used. Human centipede's been used before.
Yeah.
Human tush push, I don't think has ever been used. I love everything you're about, Schefter. Today is a great day for you. All right, let's chit-chat about some other things happening around the NFL. Boston Connor has a question for you, Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter, speaking of the fines this past week, it's been a tough go for Gannon. And, you know, this isn't his first or second year. This is kind of the prove-it year for the Cardinals. And it was a good start, but now they're heading to Indianapolis with, you know, Kyler, who I believe you reported practice today, so he might be going, but still a very, very tough test, especially with two coaches who are familiar with each other going back to Philadelphia. But are we looking at a situation where Gannon is kind of on his last legs here? Is this one of those not prove-it games, but massive game, need to beat a big team? And then can you also, real quick, go back and just double-check for me, Bam Bam Cam Scatterboo, doesn't he keep his dog bones in the blue tent, so he has to go in there?
I can't verify that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that were the case with Bam Bam Cam Scatterboo from Bedrock. In regards to the Cardinals, you know, I think the situation that you run into there, the tricky, dangerous spot that they're in right now, to me, is that last week that game was won. If DeMarcado goes in with that touchdown, it's 27-6 with 12 minutes and 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The game is over. They've won the game. They lose a game that never should have happened, right? This play is going to be replayed for a long period of time. DeMarcado drops the ball at the goal line, doesn't count. The game is over if he scores on that touchdown. And now this team has to bounce back going on the road. And when you lose a game like that, it's interesting psychologically because I just think back to last year. The Bears were 4-2 going into Washington. They lost on the Hail Mary play, and they proceeded to lose, including that game, 10 straight games. And I think that's the challenge that Jonathan Gannon faces now, is to lift this team up after a crushing loss like that to the Titans last week, where we got snaps bouncing off Kyler's helmet, and we've got interceptions that wind up as touchdowns, and we've got touchbacks or touchdowns that wind up as touchbacks. Like the whole thing, it was one of the more improbable losses you could ever see. And so
improbable. That's a good way to describe that. I think that is a great way to describe that. Improbable. All the shit improbable of happening. All of it. You just even after the ball gets snapped off his face, pretty good snap it looks like, right to his face. Yeah. The guy from the Titans just banging him on the top of the head immediately after. I mean, he just got sunned immediately after getting a ball in his face. It's like worst case scenario for a snap to a quarterback or holder or punter. Getting hit in the face, bang. Okay, I get hit in the face. It's embarrassing. Not good. I'm supposed to be a professional athlete. Obviously, that's out of a movie. Oh, now they get it. Great. We're up. The guy bats him on top of his head, just bonks him. Just like three. One, look at Sneed.
Thanks, kid.
Bang, bang, bang. So then they do the kick thing into the touchdown thing, and it's like, geez Louise, that's a tough day with the toss thing. Good luck out there, Coach Gannon. We believe in you, buddy.
Good luck. Good luck, Coach.
Good luck out there. Go ahead, AJ.
Schefter, you mentioned it. We got some high-profile quarterbacks that may be a little bit banged up. What's your any news on the injury front as far as quarterbacks here heading into this week?
I would say as we sit here right now, 12:36. Friday afternoon, it looks like Cooper Rush is going to start against the Rams in place of Lamar Jackson. It looks like Mac Jones is going to start in place of Brock Purdy against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a big matchup in Tampa on Sunday afternoon. And we don't know on the Cardinals whether Kyler will make it back or whether it'll be Jacoby Brissett up against his former team. I think that's the one quarterback question mark right now that's still out there. But I think right now, we'd all be surprised if Lamar plays. The Ravens are on a bye next week, so they'll give him a couple of weeks, and then they're hoping that team can make a push in the second half. And Brock Purdy just hasn't been right with the toe, and Mac Jones has played great, and Purdy hasn't practiced this week. So to me, I think it'd be a surprise if it weren't Mac Jones going on Sunday against the Buccaneers. And as he continues, hey, it's the story of the Joneses this year. Keeping up with the Joneses. Mac Jones, Daniel Jones.
Schefter!
Right?
Schefter, you're on fire.
Holy shit.
Wow. He's feeling
it. Schefter.
Hey, listen, you're not. We're not the only one cheering for you. Gumpy's over here too, going crazy for you.
Schefter.
That's a good camera.
He fits perfect out here. He fits perfect out here with that beard and the head. Obviously, we're back here in the Pacific Northwest, so obviously he loves it. Schefter, it is keeping up with the Joneses, and it's going to be tough to keep up with Daniel Jones, brother. Okay, Indiana Jones, brother. He's doing his thing. You mentioned on Monday it felt like Lamar wasn't going to play this week because of the bye week kind of forecast ahead. You kind of, I don't want to say lean that way, but that's what you were kind of saying to us on Monday. It's been a plan all along, or are they scared long-term with this thing? They're not, right? That, like, whole season, more of the season, not really question mark. Bye week is expected to be kind of the time where Lamar will be back on the other side of that, and that's how they're going to try to make a push for the Ravens fans like Butta and Stavi. Like, they need to know, like, hey, the next 2 weeks, we're building up for this final push that we're going for. Is that kind of the feel that you're getting with that situation?
Hope is that you get Lamar back. I mean, well, they'll see how his hamstring's doing. Hamstrings are tricky. My guess, just a guess 2 weeks out, is, that's when they're going to try to bring him back after the bye. And this team will hope to get back more reinforcements. They've lost so many players along the way. Some guys aren't going to be back. Obviously, they lose Nnamdi Madubuike last week into a season-ending neck injury, and that is crushing to the pass rush. But at some point in time here, like, if the losses keep piling up, for one of the rare times, the Ravens may turn out to be sellers at the trade deadline. We already saw them deal Odafe Owe on Tuesday to the Chargers. They get back a safety. There were some draft picks involved, but you wonder if they'll wind up trading away a couple more players. Like, they have 2 tight ends. Is there a team out there that needs tight ends? We'll see how what's going on.
You haven't noticed?
He's an artist. He's an artist over there.
Yeah, wow. Scorsese going on right now, brother. I don't know if you know what's really happening right here in front of your eyes. Okay. So whenever you're on this show, you got to know that there's a chance that any of these angles could be live in real time. But what you're saying, I think, makes a lot of sense for all us NFL fans as we Scorsese our way to a daytime. What's the bad award called? A Jizzy? A Riz? What is it called?
Jizzy, you got it.
Jizzy, I think. The big Jizzy is the big one.
That's not what it is. It's a Razzie.
What's it? Razzie is what it's called?
Razzie.
We're trying to earn one of those, Schefter, so we apologize for the camera cuts, you know. A little WWE, so you can't see how the magic is made, you know. Try to do a little bit of that. Speaking of magic, I felt like there was a lot of business magic happening around the NFL. Trades galore seemingly came out of nowhere. Tone has a question for you, Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter, you talked about the Ravens there, and the Jags and the Browns have been involved in trades. The Bengals, the Chargers. It feels like it's more active early now than it has been in the past. Does that mean that it could be more active around the actual trade deadline as well?
Well, if we go back and look, and my great researcher Evan Kaplan from ESPN sent me a number on this because I asked him to look into it for me. But back in 2015, in the month of October, leading up to the trade deadline, so we're talking 10 years ago, there were 4 trades. The next year, there were 5. That gives you an idea of what the league used to be a decade ago. Last year, in the month of October, leading up to the trade deadline, there were 18.
Sheesh.
18 last year. Now,
quadruple.
Earlier in the week, I figured, we'll get about a dozen before, but I may be low on that now. Like, there have been at least 12 trades in the month of October for each of the last 5 years.
Damn.
And we're off to a flying start. So I think we're going to see a lot more activity, and I won't be surprised if in the month of October we get 20 trades altogether. Wow. You know what happens here? All these teams, they start seeing the other teams making trades, and they want to get in the action. They want to make some trades, and teams win a game or two. They want to make some trades. Everybody wants to make trades. And so we're going to see some action by the Tuesday, November 4th trade deadline.
We're selling, we're buying. I like that. The Indianapolis Colts just restructured Kenny Moore's contract, I think freed up like $3.8 million. Trey Hendrickson's coming to the Indianapolis Colts with Lou Anarumo. Lou Anarumo is bringing back the entire Funky Bunch.
Makes sense.
Shit.
I haven't heard that, but you never know. Look, the Colts are going to want to make some moves if they keep winning games like this. They are the #1 seed in the AFC as of today, and if they keep rolling like that, it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to bring in more help.
What seed?
Number one seed in the AFC as of right now.
Nice.
Gotta update that one.
Wow.
Man, Steichen did coach in Philly. There is a receiver in Philly, too, that might be unhappy. I don't know.
A.J. Brown. Yeah, that would be all you can eat out here, brother. Daniel Dimes is a delivery man. It's basically, he makes everybody happy. And
DoorDash.
We can certainly go on and we appreciate. He is DoorDash, Danny Dimes. Oh, keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, everything that's happening out here right now is amazing. From the human tush push all the way to the Bam Bam Cam Scattaboo, then all the way through keeping up with the Joneses. What else did you say? You said something else in there that was pretty brandable worthy. I don't know. Feels like you're
the
really
human tush push. Did you say that?
Yeah, we hit that. Yeah.
There's so many.
For the brand.
The centipede.
He's full of them.
Human centipede.
What did you say about centipede, Schefter?
Yeah, you've seen that, right?
Centipede? I didn't say anything about a centipede.
Don't lie.
No, I think that I heard it. Didn't I hear it? It was
Yeah,
on the
I thought
show.
he said
I think he said
human
the tush
centipede.
push looks like human centipede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, you Schefter. I didn't know you knew that about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, Adam Schefter.
He's laughing. He gets it.
That's a damn Adam Schefter. You know, he always knows what's going on. I appreciate that. I got a chance to catch up with that baby. Go ahead and play drums on that thing.
Got it.
I got a chance to catch up with him earlier, and I was like, "Hey, what can we ask you about? You know, what do you want?" Everything, whatever you want. And I'm like, how does he keep up with literally every piece of information that's happening at all times, AJ? And he talked about the trades being off to a hot start. That's good news for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's good news for teams that are doing well right now. But boy, if you see your team being a team that's selling at that trade deadline, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to kind of realization of what your team is this year.
Yeah, football feels like it's different to other sports where it doesn't happen as much. But now I think the more we go, like year in and year, I think we're going to see more and more trades. Not only from great teams that are maybe underperforming with stars that are unhappy, boom, ship them off. Place like maybe Indy picks up a few studs at the deadline, huh?
Oh, we're doing some buy-in. I remember there was a poll saying that we're going to be doing some die-in this season. So all of a sudden, a transition potential brand new building in Indianapolis from top to bottom has become maybe, wait a minute, are they building a dynasty over there? And boy, that is a great thing to be experiencing. But we might not be the only ones. There's seemingly a brand new era happening for that New York Giants football team that we watched last night. Joining us now is a man who obviously latched his bandwagon to this one very, very early and taking another victory lap. Ladies and gentlemen, NFL pundit, QB guru, ESPN's face, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, Dahn.
Oh, great. You're back in the kitchen. We're going to be watching you eat the whole time we talk to you. We were very pumped up about that. Gumpy, weren't we talking about how pumped up we were about that?
Favorite thing on Friday is Dan just eating in his kitchen.
Yeah, we talk about how this guy's like Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11. Isn't that kind of the conversation?
Spot on.
Yeah, that's what we say over there. So we're pumped. You made two guys really excited that are currently in Eugene, Oregon for what your setup is right now in that beautiful kitchen of yours. Please tell the family we said hello. You said Jackson Dart should be a top 10 guy whenever we were going through the draft process. During the college football season, I don't think you had watched any film on him. Then you said after watching film on this guy, after like getting a chance to learn his game and fully dive in, Jackson Dart is a guy. What did you see then? And what have you seen from him thus far outside of just moxie and pure incredible leadership from a rookie at quarterback? What is his game like transitioning right now with Dayball?
Yeah, I would say like coming out of school, I think the things that stood out the most to me, and it was very similar to Jaden Daniels 2 years ago in regards to I did not know a ton about him and when it came to like real true NFL prospects. And then when you watched them game by game, it was like I liked him more and more and more. And, Jackson comes from that Ole Miss offense that everyone kind of knocked on him sitting there saying, well, they get to line of scrimmage, they play with tempo. Lane Kiffin, he turns to the sideline, Lane calls his plays. And how smart is he? And my whole thing was like, I understand that there is truth to that. But if the quarterback plays in it long enough, he knows why I'm calling the play, then he's actually learning on the fly kind of with me. And as long as he can understand why we're doing that, I don't see that as a knock. So I never saw his offense as a knock. I think the second thing was, I honestly don't believe at Ole Miss there was like baked in completions. There was easy stuff. A lot of the throws he made looked like that one. Like it was down the field stuff that was high risk, high reward, very challenging, not a lot that was kind of that RPO dink and dunk, under 5 yard, easy type of stuff. And so I really liked his ability to throw the ball downfield. And then my favorite trait for quarterbacks is what do you do when panic sets in, or at least the moment of panic where you got pressure or coverage changes, or you got to make a decision with the football. And I remember falling in love with Joe Burrow in that regard, very much so the same with Jaden. And that was one of the things I loved about Jackson. Then I thought he was the strongest in the pocket, when it came to his ability to move in the pocket, but still be fundamentally strong in it. And we're seeing it. And so, I remember begging a couple of my friends that I know in the league, dude, take this kid top 10. He's going to be a very, very, very good player. Obviously, he didn't listen to me, but I honestly was really high on him. And then I think through a couple games, I would say this, and people are going to take this out of context, but when you watch him last night, there are moments when you're like, dude, that looks like early Josh Allen. That looks like early Lamar Jackson.
Go to hell.
Like Baker Mayfield. It does, dude, because here's what I say in regards to the Josh and Lamar early years. He makes plays, and you're sitting there watching, you're like, you don't really know what's going on right now, do you? You probably don't have a great understanding of what the pressure is or what the coverage is, but you're finding a way to make a play. Yeah, you just make a play. Make a play. And Josh and Lamar were certainly in that world early on in their careers where you're like, make a play. You just found a way to do something positive. And then I say Baker's always been, one of the things crazy fearless. And Jackson plays that way. I think what we watch with Dart is it's that stereotypical everybody else around him is better because of him. You're watching him elevate everybody just by his style. Don't you think when I watch Dart, I'm like, oh, he walks out on the field thinking he's the best player on the field. He really thought he was the best player on the field last night. And then all of a sudden, so does Scatterbo. And then all of a sudden, so does little Jordan Humphrey. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Theo Johnson does. These guys are just playing so much more confident because this dude just continues to make plays for them.
Yeah, I think also about Jackson Dart, and you talk about it radiating, I love that he's taking on the identity of Daboll, I think, too. That feels like a very good match. Him, Scatterbo, Daboll, I feel like they all see life in ball the same way. So they're going to be pulling for things to be motivated by. And I know this has happened to you before. It has now happened to us. Roll the press conference from Jackson Dart last night, please.
I just feel like we have a little bit more excitement, in the locker room. We feel like anytime we go out there on the field, anybody that we're playing against, we have a chance to win. It doesn't matter what Vegas says. It doesn't matter what the spread is. I was watching the Pat McAfee, and they're talking about the point spread of who's going to win the game. And we don't care about that stuff. We feel like we're confident to go out there and put on good performance and win games.
He's watching the Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I appreciate him doing that. And Jackson, we're big fans of yours. I think if he is a watcher of the program, he knows that. Cam Scatterbo, too. I would like to let that locker room know awesome. We love the cut of their jib. Mm-hmm. We love the cut of their jib. But I do appreciate the fact that they're looking for it still, AJ. In this world of hearing everything, they're not scared of it at all. They're taking it and going for it, which makes me like them even more. This Giants team might be on the precipice of something special. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Dan, pivoting to the other side, the Eagles. What do you think their issue is offensively, why they're struggling in the second half? When you watch their offense, I guess, what do they need to do to get back on track?
And Dan, we know you're never trying to get the offensive coordinator job right now. So
don't angle. Make your case, Dan.
Okay. No, dude. Trust me. That is, I've done that in the past before when I was young. I've gone after people with the job thing. I'll never do that again. So it's never one thing, AJ. It's never one thing. I would say one, I think they're very much so in the shotgun way too much. And I just come from the world and belief that when you're in the shotgun as much as you're I don't know what this play is, but I could just tell you where Saquon is, it's a pass. Yep. When you line up in the gun, and AJ, you know this better than I do, you're constantly giving defenses tells and tendencies. So one, you're in the gun way too much. And then if you watch the Giants defensive line last night, AJ, in early downs, especially when Saquon was in that, he's almost a half a yard behind Jalen. You would watch the Giants defensive line, like, because they're in the gun, all they would do was they played stand up and they would put hands on the offensive line or like tackle of the Eagles, and they would just watch what you're doing. And there's no feel of firing off the ball in many ways. There's no feel of like doubt. They're just, okay, I think it's run, confirm, and then just go. I just think they're way too predictable in that regard. So the shotgun. I think the second thing is this. They're not a play action centric offense. So from a defensive perspective, if you see Saquon in that little bit of a depth alignment, which is more than often a run for them, and you know that they're not really a play action offense, once you see Jalen kind of catch the ball and do this, you're sellout run because you're not really like worried about that play action or that stretch or that doubt. And I don't think they make defenses play in doubt in that regard. So that's it. They're running the same pass concepts on a consistent basis. Like that pick that should have gone for a pick six or almost does. That was the fourth time in that game. The fourth time in that game, they ran that pass concept out of that formation. You can't do that in the league that much. You just can't. Like, and so I think there's a predictability in their pass concepts that they really just run the same 3 or 4. And then, yes, there's a reality that their guards are not playing up to the level that we saw last year. And so when you're predictable and simple, it's really difficult to go and operate.
Is it an easy fix, Dano? Is that something you can fix like in the course of a week or two?
Yeah, and I don't think it's this 180 change. Like, this isn't the war on gun. It's you have to get out of the gun more. 180. You have to be willing to put the quarterback under center a little bit and just create a little bit of maybe a downhill run game, maybe a little bit of a play action, maybe get your offensive line to fire off the football a little bit more instead of being a little RPO centric. And so I'm not telling everybody that they got to go 50-50. Last year they were probably 70-30, 75-25 type of thing. But I think that would be a place where I start. And then, pass concept wise, it's not, listen, they weren't a team that threw the ball over the middle field a ton last year either. That was a reality for them. But they were also so dominant up front that it wasn't a necessity. You're not right now. So you have to create some advantage for your offense. And they just don't.
All right, I didn't know how many more you had. You said like one thing and then you had 10 things. Feels like you've broken down this offense pretty good. But your biggest problem, it seems like your biggest gripe with what they do offensively is that they can read the knuckles too easy. Yeah. Hey, if they're red, they're doing this. If they're white, they're doing this. These defensive guys. And Connor, you pointed it out on the photo. That guy who gets that pick almost 6, Saquon Barkley busting his ass, by the way, making a tackle. Same with Jalen. He was down there. You love to see that no matter what's happening in the situation. But Connor, you pointed out, he's smiling the whole time. DBs, I wish Darius was on right now, are probably loving playing against this Philadelphia Eagles team, Orlovsky, right? That's probably something that's very real?
Yeah, absolutely, because think about it in this regard, from a defensive perspective, both as a totality thing and an individual thing. If you're the corner, you are like seeing 3 or 4 routes. You're not seeing that many different routes, And so, even on the first 3rd down, they motion Dallas Goedert out there. They run the 5-yard short in the corner. They run that like 17 times a game. And so I think that, there just needs to be a lot of growth in what they're trying to do. And I'm not saying that this is like you got to reinvent yourself, but yeah, from a defensive line perspective, I talked to defensive people in the NFL about this. I even asked Jason McCourty on NFL Live about this. I said, hey, am I like searching for ghosts in this alignment thing? Again, I don't want to like be making stuff up. He's like, no. He's like, we would have people, if we were playing a team like that, on the sideline yelling to us, because sometimes when you're lined up, you can't. Yeah, like you can't necessarily see it. So they would have people on the sideline yelling. And I've texted people that I know, hey, do you see this? And the responses have been, yes, there's absolutely tendencies and tells that we would and have paid attention to. So I just think that's something they got to address.
A lacrosse dad on your kid's team doesn't really. Like the guy you said you texted and they said, you're not doing that. But McCourty, I like McCourty saying that, though. That's good. Okay? Just for future reference, TV reps. Yeah. The whole TV reps. And also digitally, let's get you a deal with the NFL so you stop stealing their footage.
Yeah. Costs money, Dan.
Yeah, stealing their footage. I
would love to. You can make it happen, then I'll be forever grateful. As I already am.
Oh,
There you go.
Put it on the list.
Sure. That's Dan Orlovsky.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, we'll see you next hour. Goodbye.
But it is great to be down here in T-Town, Alabama. Now, let's do a little history here, shall we? This is, what's your name?
Gabby.
Gabby, you're a senior here, right?
That's correct.
And what is your major?
Chemical engineering.
Okay. Okay, have you ever kicked anything before?
No.
Okay, but you said you want to do it, not get somebody else because...
Yes, because I camped out for so many hours with my friend, and I got lucky enough to get picked, so let's go for it.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
All right.
We love that, Gabby.
Let's go.
$300,000 if you make this kick right here, Gabby, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
That seems fair.
I don't know what a chemical engineering degree costs, but hopefully that'll help towards it all.
My parents would love that.
Okay.
I'll throw in 200 as well.
He's on it to $500,000. All right, Gabby.
Okay.
Good luck. We're pulling for you. 33 yards. All you got to do is make the kick. Good luck, Gabby.
Okay. Thank you.
Any final thoughts?
I love you, Mom and Dad and brother.
Love that, Mom and Dad. Hope you have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabby Mathis, chemical engineer, senior here at Alabama, will attempt to win $500,000.
Oh, it's come to this, huh? It's come to this. It's come to this.
Yeah, why'd you smack me in the face? Kirk just smacked me in the face. How about this? How about this, Gabby? If Kirk Herbstreit can throw that football through those uprights right there, we'll give you $300,000. Are you okay with that? $300,000. If Kirk Herbstreit can throw it through those uprights, former Ohio State quarterback.
Oh, boy.
No warm-up. Full suit for Gabby. Get Gabby, get Gabby, get Gabby. Congratulations, Gabby. All right. It's getting even more pricey. Kirk Herbstreit, I did not know you had that in you. You son of a bitch.
Oh, that's great.
Gabby, it's for you, your mom, your brother, the whole family. Congratulations, and Kirk. Good on you, man. It was close. Back to you, Reese. Jeez. Way to go, Gabby.
I want a moment. You know, I love the fact that Gabby wanted the experience. You know, blue-eyed.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. What? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Hour 2 of the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat. He's in Eugene, Oregon. We had a big game last night, boys. The Giants beat the Eagles. Football! It's what it's all about, Pat. I don't know how your little quick 2-3 minute break went over there, but you got a beautiful setting out there. I know we got Coach Saban coming up in about 8-10 minminutes. How's it going, man?
Yeah, it's beautiful out here. I don't know what this thing. It's kind of zoomed
I
in
like
there
it.
a
It's real
little bit.
artsy.
Is that a new hat?
Yeah, the back this no same hat from the first hour, same shirt from the first hour, and they actually heard that I mentioned the hoodie was too small, so they actually brought up a new one.
There we go.
Oregon football.
This place is the greatest. This place is the greatest. Very kind of us. It's obviously far. A man who made the long haul, and I think he's going to have some incredible opinions on what happened last night, especially because the two guys that are running shit, literally and figuratively, for the New York Giants are rookies. And obviously, we just got a chance to enjoy their entire final seasons at college, both at Arizona State and at Ole Miss. A man who called the game last night in New York. I don't know where he is right now. I know the plane map thing that I saw has him all over the place for like the third straight. This has been maybe the worst setup for him, convenience-wise, 3 straight weeks to start this season. I mean, it's been, hey, you're traveling the long haul, but obviously he loves it. Ladies and gentlemen, Blue Eyes, former president of Ohio, Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah,
Herbie!
Former
okay, so
president.
you're out here.
There he is.
You made it out here.
I did. I landed. I think we landed around 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Made it. Peter's here safely. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
But yeah, we're here. We're here and enjoying ourselves. How you doing?
Good. Got in early morning as well. I showed you my setup last night at a way too nice of an event that I was not supposed to be at. My wife certainly was supposed to be there with how beautiful she looked. Kaylin obviously gets celebrated. There's some ex-Royals at this thing, the commissioners at this thing. There's a lot of money being raised for Project Healthy Mind, which is obviously helping folks get mental health assistance easier, and there's a lot of money committed to it, so it was a cool event to be a part of. I'm watching game on iPhone, on my wife's iPhone on table, okay? Straight out of a commercial, straight out of a movie. Kaylin Irsay also watching, obviously, and Kay Adams. Our entire table there is basically up in the front, huddled around. Carson Daly, his son, behind us, have the game on, Eagles, Giants, and then they have Islanders, Penguins on because they're from Long Island. Pittsburgh Penguins beat them. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And there was certainly some jousting going on. So I didn't get a chance to hear you call the game in its entirety. Whenever those 4 tush pushes are happening in real time, what's your reaction? And have you seen how a lot of the football world has responded on the internet to them running 4 straight? And how do you feel Sirianni feels about all of it? Does he even think about anybody's reaction other than a first down, then a touchdown?
No. I think he prides himself on first down. I mean, what was weird is that's the first time I've seen him do it when it was 3rd and about 3.5. And I thought it was like a 2-for-1. Like you knew that, okay, we'll run one of these, get it to like 4th and 1, and then we'll run another one. But they just kept going. I mean, I don't think we're all fans of it, but if it's not going to be outlawed, can you blame them? I mean, it works. By the way, how come other teams can't copy this and mimic it? It's bizarre how Philly seems to be the only one that can run it so effectively.
Yeah, because all the other teams get flagged for it.
Cheating. No, I can tell you the rule here.
Yeah.
Hold on now. I can tell you the rule because we got a tutorial in our Wednesday meeting from the league about this being emphasized with the guards jumping early. And they said if you go frame by frame in a replay and you can see a guard jumping, that's not what they're looking for. They said you have to look at real time. Does it look like the guards are moving? Run it in real time and see if you think it looks like, you could find, the tackles a lot of times.
That's real time. That's real time right there.
False start. Define real time, Kirk.
I think that's real time right there because these eyes and realize, and that's real time right there, brother. And it's no, I understand what you're saying, and this also goes back to
we're talking about the only good moment for the Eagles all night. Like I know you were at the dinner, but like the story is not tush push. It's holy shit. Like, I mean, we knew Jackson Dart and Scattaboo were going to be, story, but bro, they helped the defense get better. All of a sudden, Brian Daboll's a great coach. The concession team did a better job. Parking out front did a better job. Like this dude affected everybody. I was leaving. Al and I were walking out with everybody, and we walked by a couple of these older ushers that are in the area where the booth was. And I said, "Hey, man, how long you been here doing this job?" And he's like, 40 years. I was like, "When was the last time?" Because I don't get here a lot. When was the last time the Giants had a home game with this kind of juice, this kind of vibe? And he said, honestly, Dable's first year, they made the playoffs. He goes, but I haven't seen or felt that in decades. Think about that. And that's a guy that's in every game. And I said it during the broadcast, sometimes we get caught up in quarterbacks and the XOs, and he can make this throw. And this is an example of a guy impacting the entire franchise because of his belief. You can call it the it factor. You can call it confidence. Clearly making quick decisions, very well prepared. But he's got an aura around him. Scatterboo doing backflips after he scores. I mean, these guys have gone from like nobody wants to watch them to now. I don't know about you. I want to watch the Giants next week. And they were up 14-3 on the Saints last week, and they had 5 straight turnovers. This team could very easily be 3-0 with this combination of Dart and Scatterboo. So a lot of fun. And then for Philly, it's like, holy cow, now what? I mean, they already felt the sky was falling before this game. And now, you lose this one. You're still 4-2, but their fan base, that's a tough night for that city. Lose to the Dodgers to clinch the NLCS for LA, then lose this game 34-17. That's got to be one of the darkest nights for Philly in a long time.
Yeah, it's not just Philly that lost last night. It was also the Gamblers. Tone, what's the stat now on over 6-point favorites or over 7-point favorites now on the season?
Okay, so the stat for, let's start with over 60% against the spread is now 13-31, okay? Now, favorites have lost outright in the last 4 primetime games. The Rams lost. They were 8.5-point favorites. The Bills lost. They were 8-point favorites. The Eagles lost a 7.5-point favorite. Those were all home teams as well. Chiefs also lost on the road, -3.5 in Jacksonville. And Dogs are now 13-6 against the spread in night games this season.
Wow. Herby, we're losing. The public is losing, and I happen to be with them, it feels like, on a very regular basis because we're trying to learn what teams are. That Eagles team, what are they? I know the story is the Giants.
I think they're. I agree. I think they're. Last year they're 2-2. Everybody wanted to fire Kellen Moore. Obviously, they found their way. This is a team that's got a ton of injuries. This is a team that lost 10 players off that defense that played in the Super Bowl a year ago. They're just new pieces. They're not healthy. The offensive line, I was talking to KP, their offensive coordinator. He's like, we haven't practiced all 11 together all year since camp because we've had injuries. We've had guys recovering from surgeries. It's just a reality of where they are right now. Can they put it together? Absolutely. Are they being tested? Absolutely. But they got to get healthy and they got to get their swagger back because right now they're offensively, they're searching for an identity. They're searching for consistency. And I think they're 4-2, man. I mean, but they gotta get their offense to find an identity and a rhythm and consistency because right now they're in search mode. But I think it's a combination of they're not the team that they were in February when they blew the Chiefs out. They're got a lot of new pieces and they're trying to find it. But there's enough obvious superstars on that roster to think that they're going to get it going. But right now, they're in search mode. That's where they are after 6 games.
I believe in Sirianni being able to get everybody going in the right direction. He's obviously proven that. He's a Super Bowl champion head coach. They're the reigning Super Bowl champs currently. But it feels like a different vibe in that locker room. Hopefully, they're able to make it happen. You talk about Kelly Moe, them wanting him to be fired last year. Nick Sirianni was getting it basically until week 13. Maybe week 14 they wanted him fired. I mean that comes with the job. This year it feels a little different. Hopefully they're able to figure it out. Connor has a question for you about a team that I think you at one point had season tickets for, I think. Go ahead, Conman.
Yeah, Kirk, Pat mentioned it. You were the former president of Ohio with AJ, and so I assume you still have your finger on the pulse just because you were such a great president for those people. Mm-hmm. But Joey Flacco going to Cincinnati, kind of becoming Ohio's new son. Cleveland to Cincy, hopefully trying to save the Bengals season until Joe Burrow gets back. How do you think this is going to go this weekend? I think a lot of people, looking from the outside in are saying oh, Joey Flacco already beat the Packers with the Browns. Now he's going to go to the Bengals and they're going to beat the Packers again. But then when you look at some stats, he's like the worst quarterback in the league when he doesn't have time, and the Bengals are the worst offensive line in football by a wide margin. How do you see this going? Do you think this will help Cincy kind of get back on track and kind of be able to hold on until Burrow gets back and save their season? Or do you think this might just be another failed attempt and Jake Browning was probably just going to be the same exact thing as what this is going to be?
No, Connor, when you have a quarterback that doesn't move around, now it comes down to how well can you run the football and how well can you protect. And he's only as good as they give him the opportunity to we know what he can do.
Yeah.
It's very obvious what he can do, even at his age. But are they going to help him? Is the line gonna allow their running game, which has been non-existent? Are they going to be able to run the football? And we know the weapons on the outside, but Jamar Chase is frustrated because it's been hard for Jake Browning to be able to get the ball to him. So I like the idea of it. I like the idea of shaking it up, going to a veteran guy. But I think it's really more about how's the defense playing, how's the running game doing, how is the offensive line in general playing. We have them next Thursday night with Tone. Pittsburgh comes to Cincinnati.
Hell yeah.
Wow. We'll see how I'm interested to see how
Rodgers
Flacco
Flack in
does.
prime time.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What year is
Rodgers Flack. Oh, it's back. That's all I heard. Who cares what year it is? I know it was a good one.
Hell yeah.
And it is all the way back. Herby, this weekend we're out here in Oregon. Okay? We're out here in Oregon. They feel like the most all-in team. I don't know. I guess there's other teams that are very much all in. But whenever you talk about just like sports, investment, you name it, Oregon comes to the top of the mind immediately because it's always been this way. The Phil Knight effect, the Nike effect at Oregon before NIL was real. Lockers were better than everything. Uniforms were better than everything. Jersey, swag, you name it. They had it better than everything, and that was just like a part of being a part of the team. Now that they're able to really benefit off it even more, they're building a brand new building just to build a brand new building out here. Just to do it, and it's like they already have new buildings and they're building new ones. There was a crane outside on my way in here. Crane obviously means building up a city. You go to a city, you see a lot of cranes. That means shit's going very well in that city. Okay, that's what that means.
Tampa with Brady.
They're trying to expand. Boom. These are when you see cranes, that is a good thing for cities. Cities are doing well whenever you see cranes. Right out here, you see cranes, and then you see Go Ducks all over these cranes. They're like 100 feet tall, 200 feet. It's like all in on Oregon sports. It's always like special, it feels like, to come out here and do a game day. This is my third one, I think, out here. The morning start, the fans, Pacific Northwest fans, I think in general, a little bit more hooligan-y, like soccer fans, but they show up in a big way. This is special out here, Kirk. It really does.
Bro, I'm with you, man. I've always loved coming out to Eugene. When we first came out here, when Chip Kelly was here, I thought, Eugene, Oregon, how the heck are we going to get there? And then when we got here and we had game day and we're on, live at 6 a.m. local, and I didn't know what to expect. It's dark out, and as far as you could see, were people out there, and I don't know, 10 or 15,000 people at 6 in the morning, kind of like what Cal was like last year. It always blows me away when we go on the West Coast and we get these huge crowds for college game day, and it'll be that way tomorrow. Shout out to Chip Kelly and Phil Knight and what they've created initially. Mike Bellotti, because Oregon, where you're sitting right now, Pat, they are a national brand. Like it used to just be USC on the West Coast was a national brand. Oregon and their style of play, not just the uniforms, the style of play, the aggressive nature that they created. Dan Lanning, I think, has taken it even to another level. The commitment to the program. I was just over at the softball stadium. Rob Mullins, their AD. The commitment to everything they do here is first class. So I love it. Anytime I hear Eugene, Oregon, I know it's a long haul, but I'm fired up to always come out here. I will ask you this, because I think that the one guy that has a real dilemma on his hands this weekend is none other than Pat McAfee, because he's got his home squad. He's got his home squad wearing in their Adidas, really bad uniform. Really.
Whoa. They're making a push.
Easy.
They're making a push.
It's hideous. It's hideous.
Easy.
And while I'm at it, the Miami uniform is hideous as well. It is
Gorgeous. Gorgeous
could not
green.
Could not be any worse.
Gorgeous Adidas.
Couldn't be other.
There you go. Let him know, Kirk. Let him know.
Couldn't be any worse. It's hideous.
Don't like it. I don't
Might as well
like
be
what you're
Russell
doing right now.
Athletic.
I love it.
Miami
This guy
uniforms.
stinks. This guy stinks.
Miami's uniforms are a disgrace. They're a disgrace. They need to go back.
Mute him. Mute his mic.
Hold on. Will you hold on a second?
Recruits are saying
Indiana
it.
are trash. Their uniforms are terrible. I can't
It's
stand
unbelievable.
You got to like the cleats, though, right? You love the cleats.
If you're comparing, hold on, AJ, don't gas him up anymore. We don't need to continue doing this.
He's already wiped
We
him
know
down.
some
Hey,
of this-
wait a second. Now, wait a second.
Oh.
So the dilemma is Pat's got his home team. Go Hoosiers, IU. Got Indiana against your guy, Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
You got a real problem on your hands, my friend.
Yeah, it's certainly not a desirable position for anybody to be in. But what you just did to Adidas, that is currently investing a lot of money in American football, okay, welcome to the sport, was maybe partially correct. Some of their stuff is ass.
It's awful.
Right?
True. Awful.
But they got some. Adidas Superstores are unbelievable. They're investing in football. We assume it's only going to get better. The cleats, just like when Under Armour started, click clack, right, AJ? Click clacking. We're click clacking all around.
We were.
You remember that? AJ was looking at cameras, wide lens fish. He was going like this. He was going, click clack, dude.
You nailed it.
Click clack, dude. And then you go, yo, click clack, dude. That was what AJ was doing. Then look where they've come. Look where they've come. Adidas getting into football, American football in a big way. I think it's only a road, hopefully up. But there's.
I don't mind them getting involved, but just the uniforms, they just need to be redone. They look terrible. It's just a bad look.
They're high quality, fit well.
Thank you, Gumps. Gumps, the soccer fan.
Gump,
he loves
Gumpy,
Adidas,
you
brother.
stop it. Gump, don't even
Hey, they just gave Liverpool. They just gave Liverpool $1 billion for 10 years, brother. Adidas
I
is good
don't want
with
to
me.
hear it, Gump.
It's shorts and a shirt, Gump. That's their uniform.
All right, Herby. We
Not full
appreciate
tracksuit, too, Auger.
We appreciate the hell out of you, brother. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Herbstreit. Thank you.
Pat, here you go. Here you go, real quick.
Yes, please.
Looking at
He knows. He knows the bark. He knows.
He knows
the bark. I think we did hear him
balls all
breathing
over
into
the
the
couch.
phone earlier. What up, dude?
You might want to change that bandana, Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk, you might want to take
North,
that bandana
North
off.
Carolina women's lacrosse.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Different sport. Smart. North Carolina, great colors, especially on that blonde hair, Petey. All right. We appreciate you guys. Enjoy yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Kirk Herbstreit. All right. That was fun, ladies and gentlemen, from a man and his dog that have captivated the world to a goat. AJ, give me about 45 seconds here, please.
For sure, guys. Did anyone have any idea that Kirk was going to go on an anti-Adidas
but I
uniform
loved it.
rant?
No idea.
Has he ever like given us? Has he ever said anything like that before?
No.
About it? I didn't know he was felt so strong.
He
about
wasn't
it.
exactly wrong either.
No, but
Yeah,
he
he's
also
not.
it kind of stuck. It was really Adidas slander, but then he kind of tried to say, "Well, no, it's the uniforms themselves that just don't look
he
great."
knew
So
it.
I don't know if he loves the makeup of the Indiana uniform, of the Miami uniform, or if he's really just more of a I don't want to see Adidas on a football field guy.
It is weird when you see a Nike team go to Adidas, though.
No doubt.
What Miami weren't they Nike
They
and
were
Brand
Nike.
Jordan for a while?
Yeah, when they won the national championship.
And then when Adidas is throwing some cash at people, it sounds
Ben Dorsey
like.
was rocking the check.
Yeah, he was. Of course,
Yeah.
that's what they were. I mean, I know. What's up, Conrad?
Well, and that's the biggest thing. Like there's a clear Gatorade Powerade when it comes to uniforms and stuff, and that is Nike in Under Armour and Adidas and all that stuff. But the check mark's a check mark, baby. That's why Oregon sent Pat 200 things in a box.
The Nike swoosh. Pat, who you over there with? I know you're with a Nike guy, a guy whose teams were Nike guys for a long, long time. Coach Nick Saban. Coach, you like Nike or Adidas? What's your thought? You got any idea on that right now?
Anybody. We like anybody, right?
We like anybody who pays the most.
Bingo.
That's how everybody decided what they're going to wear.
Let's
Anyway.
go. Let's go.
But I got a little, Herbstreit, Ohio State. They've been wearing the same uniform. They have exactly the same uniforms when I coached there in 1980.
Ever heard of tradition,
and
Coach?
he's complaining about Indiana. I mean, the same Buckeye leaves, the same helmet, the same everything.
Same Nike. Same
It's like
Nike.
Penn State. It's like Penn State, Michigan. They're all iconic, which I think a lot of people would say, well, we don't do any creativity on the jerseys then. We're iconic. We're a brand. You guys were, I assume, a part of the first rollout of sponsorship teams? Like, because I remember when I was at West Virginia, we got like upgraded in our Nike deal. I remember that was a big deal. We won the Sugar Bowl my freshman year, and then they were like, congratulations, you've been upgraded in your Nike deal. And it was evident, like our new uniforms were much better. Oregon obviously maxed out all the time. Were you guys, you were in the middle of that type of shit during that era of happening? And now Adidas is coming in a huge way, which I think is good for the sport, obviously.
No question. I think it's good for the sport. But we were a part of that. But, the part of that I experienced the most, because I was one of these iconic guys. I'd never wanted to change the uniform, because I always felt the fans had an expectation of what they expected to see. And it was kind of a traditional thing. So I never wanted to change the uniform. I never wanted to be responsible for that. But the one thing that when we upgraded, Nike gives you a lot of product as a coach.
Oh.
I never saw any of it.
What?
Everybody in West Virginia is wearing Miss Terry's Nike stuff all over the damn place, and I never.
What's the website?
In all those years, I never got any stuff.
What was the website, AJ, that guys with Nike deals will go to? I forget what.
Now
like
you say that, I forget it. Yeah, so I was an Under Armour guy early on. I don't remember, actually.
Did you guys have the website? Did Under Armour have one of these? So guys that would get Nike deals, they'd get like, let's say $10,000 in merch would be like a Nike deal. You wouldn't get any money, but you get $10,000 in merch, and then you could log on to their website and you would have like back-end access to shit. And I think Cole Haan was with them as well at that time. So you could get like golf, Cole Haan, and some Nike stuff. I had like a $1,400 deal or something. That thing was gone before I got the pair of golf clubs. You know what I mean? That thing was out of there with my deal. But that partnership in sports, Nike, now Adidas coming into, is paramount for everything. And that leads to my next question about this place. Whenever you see what Dan Lanning has been able to build here, obviously everybody talks about Phil Knight. I assume there's other people with money as well, because every sport out here is seemingly good. Baseball team, I just drove by, 93 draft picks in the MLB, 39 MLB players. I think there's national championships galore. They call this place what, Tracktown or something like that, or Fast City? I forget what
Tracktown USA.
Tracktown USA is what they call it, because of the amount of Olympians that come through their track program. They hosted the Olympic trials out here. Their football team, obviously incredible. I think there's a volleyball team. Everything out here is good because they're financing it and they want it to be good. That's a special thing to be out here. And what have your thoughts been since coming out here and experiencing it?
Oh, I love this place. I think it's a beautiful place, but I think you have to have a tremendous amount of respect for what they've been able to accomplish here, because I remember, I don't know how many years ago, before, Chip Kelly and that whole crew came here, they Mike Bellotti, they weren't really that good. They were good in track, they were good in some other sports, but they have, established a tremendous tradition in terms of their ability to be successful in football, which is, I think, the number one sport that people are going to watch.
Hell yeah.
And where they're going to kind of, create their image of what the place is like. And the image of this place, because of Nike, because of the success that they've had, is, it's as good as any place in the country.
Absolutely. You love to see the Ducks on primetime television, mostly because their uniforms are going to be awesome, but also their style of play. Dan Lanning has an intensity about him, an aura about him, and his team seemingly follows suit. Let's talk about Cignetti's team, okay? Kurt Cignetti, former coacher alongside you, and last year you had a great quote to him. What I didn't teach you is talking all that damn shit that you talk. He is pretty vocal. He's from Pittsburgh and West Virginia. I think that's where he learned that. I think from that particular background, obviously football family, football guy, long haul, getting an opportunity at Indiana now and having money behind him, 2 seasons, having a lot of success, had to rebuild this year. Do you think this team and this culture has taken his identity, and how do you think they will be able to handle Autzen, this stadium, which people talk about being one of the best and loudest places in the entire country?
Well, first of all, having both of these guys on staff at some point in time in their career, these two guys are probably as different personality-wise as anybody could ever be.
Yes.
I mean, it's polar opposite. But I think the point is there's more than one way to skin a cat, so you can be very different in a lot of ways and still be successful as long as you believe in the process and the faith that you have in, your principles and values in terms of, Kirk Cignetti has always been an offensive guy, very serious about learning football and trying to be the best at it, but not always, his personality has grown in terms of his identity. And Dan Lanning has always been a positive, upbeat defensive guy but full of energy, enthusiasm, excitement, and I think it's contagious on everybody else. So these two guys are so different. But I do think Kirk Cincinnati has done a really good job as a head coach. You know, these two guys' record is very similar, you know, as head coaches in terms of where they've been, and probably doing it in a completely different style.
Definitely.
But both guys very successful in what they've done.
And I think if you were to ask Cignetti, which everybody brings up about Lanning, is he had to make that program down there in Indiana. Like, he had to create the football program, basically. They had a football team. They did not have a football program. They had a basketball program. They had a basketball team. And by program, I mean they had donors, boosters, events, expectations, everything like that. Even though they hadn't had it for a long time, that was kind of expected. Football down there was just something that happened on Saturdays every once in a while in their stadium. Like, hey, if you want to come hang out with like 100 or 200 other people, you can come watch the Hoosiers. He's had to make that place. Is it sustainable what he's doing every year, turning over the roster, being able to find the right guys? Fernando Mendoza, his quarterback out of Cal, obviously had a lot of the same cuts as Kid Canada's little brother.
Rourke. Nathan Rourke.
Curtis Rourke. Played a lot of football, had success. He was at Cal, obviously different than James Madison, but whenever you have that early success and grind, that feels like who Cignetti wants. But Mendoza is taking his team to another level, and then he might be the first overall pick. Then he's going to have to do it again and do it again. Sig feels like a guy that can do that, or how sustainable is everything like that?
Well, I think when you're having that many changes on your roster every year, you know, you have to do a fantastic job of evaluation, which, you know, Kurt Cignetti has done that so far. I don't think you could change a program as quickly as he has Indiana, especially one that doesn't have a tradition of success and culture as a football program, as you mentioned, without transfer portal.
Need it to upstart it, I think.
Yeah,
you need to like shift gears. We need new players, quick players. We need to be able to do this quickly.
And he brought a bunch of players from his old school that knew his culture and how he wanted to do it, and got a quarterback in there that could make some plays. Now he has an even better quarterback, in my opinion.
Guy's good.
So I do think it's sustainable, but I also think there's a lot of risk involved when you have that much change every year on your roster. You know, I was always able to be in a position where you could develop players and you knew what was coming, and, you know, they bought into the culture, and, you know, the older guys influenced the younger guys, and, you know, it just kept on and on and on. So you had this sort of built-in tradition when it came to what the expectations were. And but when you bring new players in and you have that many every year, that's a more difficult challenge, I think.
Chris Ballard said it once whenever he was trying to develop the Indianapolis Colts, and he has his best team right now, and I'm happy for him getting a chance to experience a little happiness as a general manager. He said you have to establish the culture before you bring in the free agents, because if you bring in the free agents, then they're the ones setting your culture. Now, in college football, though, teams and fans don't have a lot of patience. So using the transfer portal to have early success while building your culture through recruiting or maybe younger transfer portal stuff is certainly what you have to do at the same time. I think Indiana's ready to do it. I think Cignetti's enjoying his time. I really appreciate what he's done for the Hoosiers. Got a lot of Hoosiers around him. My wife is a Hoosier.
But really, Pat, I think you can do it as long as you do it up front. Like, you know, when I was recruiting players, I always told them, this is our expectation for what we want you to do here. The kind of person we want to be, what your academic responsibility is going to be, what the commitment to being the best football player you can be, all these things up front. And I would say, this place is not for everybody. So don't come here if you don't want to do these things. So you can sort of set the table for the culture with the people that come in. And some of them don't choose you. You know, I used to tell them, everybody can't play for the Yankees, man. I mean, that's the way it is. So don't come here if this is not what you want to do, because the standard's high. All right, the commitment's got to be high.
Anybody can play for the Yankees now, brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry they got beat.
Thank you, Coach.
No, we don't.
I did. I watched them, and it was heartbreaking and wrenching to watch. 25 runs in 2 games.
How about how Aaron Judge did, too? Aaron Judge played so good. And then Vladdy's dancing on your guys' grave immediately. That's tough.
Yankees lose.
Broken English. Just 2 guys, broken English, just burying the Yankees.
In Jeter's face. Yankees lose.
I mean, what a moment. That was tough. Ty was really riding the wave. He came in the next day, obviously had drank an entire bottle of Jack Daniels after that loss. He was He was really going through it. But now he says he's moving on. He said, and what do you say, Ty? It's going to be the same shit next year. We're going to lose, and this is what the Yankees are now. That's what he said in a moment. I don't know if he's a little hungover or still in despair. Do you still feel that way about the Yankees right now?
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. There's about 4 to 5 glaring holes that definitely need to be changed that will not be changed. It'll kind of be, hey, run this thing back next year, and guess what? My dumb ass will be there ready, opening day with all my Yankees shit on, screaming, excited for another season.
And so will he. So will he.
Yeah, but what if you're the organization, why change if you have fans that are loyal as you are that's coming back no matter what?
You're saying it's his fault. Ty, this is your fault.
I've been calling for change.
AJ, what's your question for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, we talked about Ohio State and their sweet Nike deal earlier. They look great, the nice traditional iconic uniforms that we all know and love. And obviously you coached on the staff there years ago, but they're traveling to Illinois, take on Bielema and the boys, another top 25 matchup on the road. Julian Sain, the young QB at Ohio State. What do you think? What do you want to see if you were Ryan Day right now? What do you want to see from your Ohio State team? We know we want to win, but what are you going to work on, on the road, another big test?
Well, I think they've been one of the most consistent teams so far this season. I mean, look at their defense. They've only given up, 25 points, for the whole season and been dominant. And they played two really good teams, Texas and Washington, and dominated both those games. And they've talked about Julian Sain. Nobody in the country is completing 80% of his passes but him. And I know he's got some good receivers, but they've been able to run the ball. The offensive line has played pretty well. So I think the emphasis for Ryan Day has got to be focus on improvement and consistency in performance so we don't have ups and downs during this season. And I don't think the Big Ten is really that deep. I think Illinois does have a pretty decent team. But it's not like the SEC where you got 8 or 9 teams that can beat you. There might be 3 or 4 teams in the Big Ten that can beat you.
This is him setting seeds. That's him setting seeds right here.
Yeah.
That's
Big Ten's expanded now, Coach. The Big Ten's we let some people in, Coach. The Big Ten's deeper now.
Deeper by what?
We got some big-time teams in there now.
Penn State. Tell me the good teams. Maybe Michigan.
USC's all right, aren't they?
Well, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They're all right, but all right is not really what I'm talking about.
We can only play who we play.
You think USC is going to beat Ohio State? You think that would be a game if they played? Really?
I sure hope not.
No, but you have Oregon, Indiana, legit so far, and we'll see how legit Indiana is probably tomorrow. Illinois got beat like a redheaded stepchild, down in Indiana. So are they legit? Come on.
Ohio State's national champion. They beat Texas.
Ohio State's great.
SEC, Texas. Beat the hell out of them.
You're just talking about the depth.
14-7.
Yeah, beat the hell out of them. You watched the game.
And Texas is not what everybody thought Texas would be.
Well, the SEC loses.
But
beat up week one.
That's pretty good. Georgia's pretty good. Ole Miss is pretty good. Alabama's got a chance. Missouri's got a chance.
Okay.
There's a lot of good teams. Tennessee's pretty good.
Missouri?
Chance? What are we talking? This is the greatest. Hey, this can happen all day if we wanted to, which is why it is so spectacular that he is here. That whole Tennessee-Ohio State game last year at the playoffs just added so much for me to lock in about North football. Just like, hey, maybe we can't on the roster have guys run 4-2 at every position like you can in the South whenever it's 65, 70 degrees, maybe 90 degrees every single day. You need some SUVs up there. A different style of teams. Where's the game happening too? Because I understand that culture and environment certainly matter in college football with 18 and 22-year-olds. That's why I think the home field advantage in the playoffs, whoever has it, I think is going to inevitably end up winning the games. I think personally.
I don't think there's any question about that. But one thing I would like to mention here is I do think the culture in college football right now, with name, image, and likeness, paying players money, has actually maybe hurt the SEC a little bit and helped the schools up north.
Okay.
Because if you're making your decision about money, and somebody's going to pay you more to go to Ohio State or Michigan or wherever it is, and I'm not complaining about that. That's the way it is. Then these people are going to be more willing to move. Kids are not growing up wanting to go to Alabama, wanting to go to Georgia, wanting to go to Florida, wanting to go to Texas. They want to go wherever who's going to pay them the most money.
Bag.
So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that culture has changed, which I think has made the regional advantage that the Southeastern Conference had for years is no longer an advantage.
I'm excited to see how it all pans out, because we're at a 12-team playoff right now. We're starting with 12, counting down to 1.
Yep.
And they're already thinking about expanding it, making it bigger. And it's like, how many teams are for real each year anyways?
Right.
Whenever you really think of it. Like in the NFL, we have this conversation. What is it? They say like 6-7 teams in the NFL are actually built to win a Super Bowl. Even winning teams right now are looking at their teams and saying, I don't know if we'll be able to win the big one. College has that type of thing too, right? I mean, that's kind of something. I assume at Alabama you knew if your team was a national championship team throughout the season or not?
I knew if we had a chance, yes.
Yes, with the way they were playing during the season, not looking at how they could be, right?
Right, exactly.
How many of those teams
and
exist?
what is the buy-in and commitment and passion on the team to sustain whatever they were capable of? Because I think that's a big thing now too. I mean, these kids are not really as passionate. Maybe they're not as hungry because they got all this noise all the time. I'm going to get in the portal at the end of the year. I'm not playing enough. What's my role on the team? So what's the commitment to the team and the commitment of the player to the team relative to what it normally was like when we played?
Yeah, I mean, we played different eras, definitely. I mean, I wore helmets and stuff. You had helmets?
Absolutely. But we just barely had face masks.
Yeah. Piecing that thing together. I can imagine they're piecing that together. You talk about a team and chemistry and getting along and the passion for a brand. I think we're really separating the dogs from not right now. Like,
No
I think
question.
the dogs are getting separated from the pretenders. Pretenders are going to be able to make a lot of money, though, in college ball, which is good for them. But the dogs are the one that everybody's trying to find to make their NFL team. I think we would all say Jalen Hurts, absolute dog. But now we got some stuff going on in Philadelphia. Connor has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, loved everything you said, but I believe Missouri, I've seen people on the internet calling Drinkowitz Dumpkowitz. So, I mean, look, just slowly roll on there, okay, if we're going to compare the two.
Internet people don't know. Tell them internet people don't know, Coach. Don't let them say that about Drinkowitz. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Who put that out there? The guy that's wearing, running around in his underwear and living in his mother's basement?
No, I don't live in my mom's basement, Coach. Okay.
What's the source?
Boner Garage 69.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Indianapolis,
Incredible.
actually. He's living pretty good. Sorry.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know what people are saying about the entire SEC. But looking at the Eagles game last night, and Pat just mentioned it, there seems to be kind of like drama between their superstars. Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and A.J. Brown allegedly had a conversation about, everything, and then A.J. Brown said, no, I wasn't there for that. And then I guess he just tweeted, actually, right here, just to clear this up. This wasn't a meeting or a sit down. I said I don't recall because it got painted like there was tension, and I assume Saquon, had to step in. That's not true. I was walking to my car, saw them, and stopped to talk, nothing more. So A.J. Brown basically said hello to Jalen Hurts, and they all made it seem like they had an hour-long conversation. Kind of weird when it comes to culture. And then you look at the Chiefs, and I assume this might have been something you dealt with. Chris Jones, their highest-paid defensive player, basically loafs at the end of the game, which almost allows Trevor Lawrence to score a touchdown right here. This was huge earlier in the week. He really is just standing, walking. Maybe he makes a play, maybe he doesn't, but regardless, the effort isn't there. Is there a culture problem with some of these teams? I mean, the Chiefs and the Eagles are kind of the last two teams you would assume to have culture problems, but all the writing on the wall says that they kind of do. Is this something that needs to be, fixed? Does Andy Reid and Sirianni, do they go to their star players? Like, how would you handle that in college, and what do you think they're doing this week to try and figure that out?
Well, you guys have heard me talk about the fact that it's much more difficult to deal with success than it is failure. When people get humiliated, they usually respond pretty well, but when you have success, a lot of people get lots of attention. People want more attention. Being self-absorbed, how does this affect me? There's only one ball out there, so how do you distribute it to the runner who wants it, the receiver who wants it, the quarterback who wants to throw it? I mean, so these individual things, you can call it disease of me, whatever you want to call it, is how does everything affect me becomes a part of a problem on a successful team, probably much greater than it does on a team that's struggling. So both of these teams that you're talking about has had a lot of success.
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to sustain that and keep, the level of performance high, not have people get satisfied with where they are, because when you're satisfied, you're no longer hungry. So does that affect your attitude, your performance, your effort, all the things that you're talking about? And I think that's the most challenging thing for coaches. You know, I talked to Sirianni about this in the summertime. I've talked to Jalen Hurts a couple times, you know, about it. And, you know, it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. You know, people just have a hard time dealing with success. And our society, you know, we think that if we have success, we're supposed to be able to rest on our laurels.
Yanni's,
and that doesn't happen. You know, I call that relief syndrome. And but anyway, that's the most challenging thing for us as human beings, not just for football teams and football players, but for us as human beings, that when we have success, can we sustain it?
Rat poison.
Rat poison is awful.
It's real, too. It's very real. Just as a human that has seen and thought about some of the workouts that I did as an 18-year-old with no money, really hungry, and then now as an adult, like the mindset is just so much different whenever things are good. You know, they talk about, what's the quote we always bring up about boxers? It's hard to want to wake up and get punched in the face when you wake up on satin sheets or something like that.
Yep.
That happens whenever it comes to clout and attention and money and shit like that. It's not just satin sheets. It's everything else that kind of comes alongside of it. Do you think these two teams have enough veteran leadership to be able to correct the course? And do you still think, with how much time is left, this might be a good thing for their story in the end, because you can certainly build off this? Can you not build bonds?
Yeah, and I think that, you know, you kind of lose respect for what it takes to win, lose respect for winning, however you want to say it. But when you don't have success and you have a couple losses, then people start to respond in a different way, and it kind of brings people together. So I do think they have the talent on their team, and I do think these teams have a chance to recover and respond.
All right, well, I appreciate hearing that, and I think their fans will as well. And I don't know if you saw the Scorsese shit happening while you were talking.
Yeah, wow.
We saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this happened right here in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
You see that zoom out right there, Coach? You see that? You see that? That's left hand. That's not
He's
strong.
blown away.
Yeah.
Strong side, left side. This is not strong side. You know what I mean? This is, that is not, I felt pretty good about it. But you, obviously, giving such incredible takes, we got to make sure we have you in there. Your leadership discussion and how you view teams and what they need to do and what they need to accomplish is second to none. And we can't reiterate this fact enough. We are so lucky we get a chance to catch up with you every single week. Tone has the last question for you, but you need to know all this shit that spills out of your mouth, we are listening. Right, AJ?
Absolutely. Who doesn't? I think everybody listens to this. Like, no matter what
That's
you
what I'm
say,
saying.
Yeah,
Coach,
they better.
we're taking notes all the time.
Yeah, you're coaching society right now.
Nice.
So any of this stuff, me mostly, but also society as a whole, and we're grateful for it. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, the last time Indiana was in this situation in the regular season was last year going into the shoe at Ohio State. And Cignetti talked about how they were not prepared for the noise. He hated the silent count. He was never going to do the silent count again. I know you have had times where you said that you've hated the silent count. Over years and going into those big SEC stadiums with a ton of noise, what have you found that's worked best, and what do you think Cignetti's going to do in Autzen maybe differently than what he did last year at Ohio State?
Yeah, well, you know, the problem with the noise and being in the gun is if you're under center, you can still use a snap count, and people can hear the offensive line. When you're in the gun, it becomes more challenging. All right, so most people try to go on the clap. But sometimes you can't hear the clap, so what do? Now you can go on the leg lift, which means the center has to keep his head between his legs to snap the ball and can't see who he's supposed to block, or if the defense stems, he can't do that. So there is a definite disadvantage no matter what you do. And if you go on the silent, you know, which is what you're talking about, the guard taps the guy and then the guy snaps the ball. I mean, now the offensive linemen have to keep their eye on the ball to see when the ball moves, or you're going to have lots of penalties. And these penalties are drive stoppers because they put you behind in the down and distance, and when you're playing against a good defensive team, you know, that's a huge problem. So I don't know what the solution is. I just hated to go on the silent. I hated that. All right, so we tried to clap whenever we could. You know, I told you guys before, you know, we had to have a clap session with Bryce Young because he didn't clap very loud, so that he clapped louder.
What made a good clap? You got to hit the good palm. You know, you got to hit the good palm.
You got to hit the palm right. Hit the palm right. You got to splash it.
Bang, bang,
Do you talk to somebody about that?
You got a good one.
Yeah. Who's the expert? Who's the clapping expert? I got a buddy who's clap expert, but we're talking about different. You know,
Johnny Sins, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a dirty
could be a clap
dog.
expert,
He
probably.
was a dirty
Why is
dog.
Coach laughing?
Yeah, but, well, yeah, Coach, you know what we're talking about. That you shouldn't, though. On that note, so we're going. Who's the clap expert? Did you bring in the America's Got Talent clap guy? Like how the most decibel clap guy?
No, we just took the quarterback coach was responsible. And if he didn't get it fixed, he's going to get his ass chewed out, and he knew it, so he did what he had to do.
Hey, you need to go watch some YouTube videos on how to make this a big splashy clappy. Okay, we need that. Are you a left-handed clapper or right-hand clapper? Righty. You're going right hand over top.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, if you just want to change it up, just to look different, because I think a majority of people are right-handed clappers. If you just toss that son of a bitch backwards and you go lefty.
Yeah, I'm left.
Yeah, I'm lefty for sure.
I'm left naturally.
Lefty. Yeah, left. Are you really?
Yeah, I'm right-handed, but I use my fork in my left hand too, or cut with my right. Cutting steak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. You definitely
strong.
stick
Called
with
being
the left.
right.
But I'm clapping right here.
Right.
Here I am clapping, left hand over top.
I think you look more sophisticated left to right, I think.
I should go
now,
right
not
to
the way
left.
you're
I'm
doing
not
it, like a
sophisticated.
baboon. Yeah, you look like a baboon.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
My daughter would be like, banana.
Yes.
But, you know, one thing that's going to be important in these games, this game to me, is if Indiana can't get the snap count right and they get behind in the sticks, that's going to hurt them because they're a huge run-the-ball, advantage throw RPO team. And it forces you to play a lighter box on defense. In other words, playing split safety coverages are much better when you play in that kind of team. When you play middle of the field coverage, you play right into their hands. Illinois played middle of the field coverage, they got shellacked. If you watch other teams that play them, like Iowa, play split safeties, and they struggle a little bit more because it forces them to run the ball. Well, if you get behind the sticks, then that running the ball stuff doesn't work so well because you stay behind the sticks. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely. You look
And
amazing.
I know how my boy Dan Lanning will try to play him, so they're going to have a challenge from that standpoint if they can stop the run with the lighter box.
And crowd noise is going to help, as we just chit-chatted about, let alone the silent count, but also getting off on the ball. And also, you know, maybe firing up the defense a little bit to go eat a little bit. We've seen Oregon have a huge win against Penn State, which obviously none of us know what Penn State is, especially after they lose to UCLA. But we learned a lot about Indiana after this weekend, I think, on whether or not Cignetti's back and for real. I can't thank you enough for joining us. You're the man, brother.
Okay. I enjoyed it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate this.
Did you
group, man.
enjoy it?
These guys are great. I love the football talk.
Love football talk. What about leadership talk? You like leadership talk?
We can do that sometime.
You give you do it every week. Yeah. What about uniform talk? You like uniform talk? Adidas uniforms. We like them.
I'm a traditionalist.
Well, then you love Ohio State. That's why he likes Ohio State uniforms.
Yeah.
Here you go, Coach.
And Alabama's uniforms never change.
I agree.
Amen.
A lot of people say that's because you guys aren't creative. You don't want to make. I know why.
That's okay. You can be non-creative and still win.
And I think you did. I was just talking shit. I was not telling you the truth there. I was talking to a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest of all time, Nick Saban.
Hey, you know one thing, fellas, that the defense, if you're on the, let's say you're at home and you're playing defense, it can affect your defense in a negative way. The crazy, like
you can't
say
make
third
calls.
down, like there's a lot of communication going on with the defense. You got to talk, look back to your safeties. That's why you have to make sure all your hand signals are down pat, everything. Like you got to give little fists, whatever your coverage are. You got to all your checks that you normally would hear on the road. You know, when you're at home defensively, I think that's something people never talk about. It can affect the defense. You better, if you're changing the front or you're trying to get your D-line, hey, I'm going from this guy to a shade to a three technique, whatever, over, under, you got to walk up, get up in there and pat him on the back and let him know, like, hey, this is what we're doing.
For you, was it harder in college to
at home,
to
for
do
sure.
those
I was
things?
going to say, yeah.
For
Did you
sure,
make
because
less checks
especially third down, they ring the bell, boom, boom.
Yeah.
They ring the
Cheating,
bell,
yeah.
and then it's so loud, which is great for you as a defense. But at the same time, just make sure your communication is
Good for the edges. It's good for the D-line.
Yeah, Pat, I don't know if you're back or not. Pat, you've been, I'm not going to lie, that slow pan in to Coach Saban when he was talking, like that's what wins Emmys right there. That was beautiful.
Hey, I thought about just completely, you know what we do when Tone started going back in the day on his little rants? You remember those? And we would just slowly zoom in over the shoulder onto his face.
Oh, man.
I was starting to do that onto Coach's face, and I'm like, he's giving a real take right now. Don't fuck this up. There's no reason. So that was the full conversation that was happening. So I had to stop at a proper proportion where it wasn't making a mockery of, but also letting people know that this is a good diatribe. And we are slowly focusing in on this thing, as everybody should. I love listening to him, man. I love chatting with him. Getting a chance to experience Alabama with him last week was certainly an honor. Oregon out here is going to be crazy in the morning, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. We got a lot of stuff we have to do still on this beautiful Friday. AJ, we got to pick every game. Are you worried about this week's slate? Have you even looked at it yet?
I like to trust my instincts in the moment and do it real time. I don't really put a whole lot of study into this situation. Sure. I'm real.
Boys, what are the big games of the weekend? There's a top 5 bet games. I saw the stat that was on the sheet. Who are they, and what do we need to remember whenever we see that type of shit?
Yeah, so we actually made a graphic this morning on the most bet against the spread teams in Week 6, and this is every team that is getting 60% or more against the spread bets. And we did this because we talked about the stat earlier in the show. Now that the Eagles lost last night or didn't cover last night, teams that are getting more than 60% are 13-31 against the spread on the season. So all of these teams that you see with the percentage in their box are getting more than 60% of the bets this weekend. So they would fall into the category of teams that have not covered so far this season to a clip of 70%, which is mad dummy, bro.
Dang.
Yeah, it is mad dummy, bro, especially with how much the sportsbooks are beating the hell out of the public. Any games there you like, Ty Schmidt, that we need to keep an eye on? How about Joey Flack taking on the Pack once again? Any other games you're excited about, Ty?
Yeah, certainly excited for that one. I mean, you mentioned it, or we have mentioned it, I guess. That Sunday night football game is going to be a real treat. But really, after being boots on the ground last week at the Colts game, regardless of what Kyler does, I'm kind of in the Colts are a must-watch in the 4-box every single week now. Their offense is unbelievable. Their defense is unbelievable. And after, I don't know, I feel like this is kind of the point in the season where the Cardinals maybe just start to nosedive a little bit after last week. I kind of expect the Colts to have another big-time ass beating like they did against the Raiders last week.
I hope so, brother. This keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, Schefter
Bingo.
said it. Schefter said it, keeping up with the Joneses. And that's Daniel Damn Jones and Mac Jones. San Francisco 49ers going with Mac Jones. AJ, how do you feel about that decision going forward? And also, Lamar Jackson out. We got Cooper Kush football taking place. Kyler Murray might be out. Jacoby Brissett might be playing for the Arizona Cardinals. Feels like we've been in a little bit of a quarterback carousel, and we're certainly continuing to hear early in this NFL season.
Yeah, we are. I mean, the Kyler situation always intrigues me, how he's going to handle that. Daniel Jones, I don't think enough credit is given to Daniel Jones. So I know we talk about him a lot, but nationally, are people giving him credit and saying, hey, you guys are a legit contender right now?
Last few days, I've seen a lot of Daniel Jones graphics on TV. Ain't that right, Connor? I've seen him on Get Up and First Take. I think they've been talking about him. So if they're both talking about him, which is very abnormal to talk about anything from Indianapolis, small market, the minute-to-minute ratings might drop if you talk about a team in the middle of America. So that is how we should decide every single moment of what we talk about. That has worked for a long time with them. I am not hating on that, but I'm just saying that is why a lot of things don't get mentioned, because they're scared literally every 60 seconds they're going to potentially lose a viewer, and then they don't know what's going to happen later. That is literally their mindset, though. We can't blame them for that. That is the business of sports media. So smaller market teams, unless you are a dynasty-like team, like Kansas City, obviously. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelce. It's a dynasty. They've won championships. For a new team to blossom like this, like the Indianapolis Colts are, from a smaller market than the largest markets in the world, it's going to take a little bit for everybody to want to put you out there. But I've seen a lot of Danny Dimes shit this week, and I'm pumped for him, man. He has certainly earned it, deserved it, and been through the ringer, Con, man.
Yeah, and, to add on to that, too, the Steichen clips coming out of him legitimately calling touchdowns before they happened. We ran it yesterday, but that stuff helps too, because it's not just, Danny Dimes is awesome, but they have a coach that, one, has a incredible game day fit, and two, is fantastic when it comes to calling games. Another thing to watch this weekend, though, with some of these teams, Raiders you can throw in there. I don't know about the Chiefs, but there are teams out there that you should watch that, hey, if they look really bad, some of these guys might get moved. There's a chance of Max Crosby with the Raiders. They get blown out or they lose to the Titans.
Don't say that.
I'm not
He's
saying.
He's going to be so pissed.
No. I know.
Be so pissed.
Max Crosby is a Raider, but I also know that his best friend's Bob Spillane, and that's the middle linebacker for the New England Patriots. And then you look at the Ravens. They've already gotten rid of one, stud, even though he's not all pro and Pro Bowl. He's not a superstar pass rusher, but Odafe is their best pass rusher, and they got rid of him already. So there are some of these teams. The Dolphins, they got a lot of good players on that team, but they haven't won won a lot of games. Like, you never know, but this weekend, especially with what Schefter just said about the trades, a couple teams start to lose, and all of a sudden, hey, some guys might be on the move to great teams again.
And then you got Steelers-Browns as well. It has been named Shedeur Sanders, backup quarterback for Cleveland Browns.
Congrats, Shedeur.
Play away.
About time. About time.
Okay, Tone. All right, yeah, I know Tomlin and the Steelers fans want to know who's 1, who's 2, who's 3.
Thank you.
Zip on the ball. Zappy, third-string quarterback. Dylan Gabriel will be the starter, the third-round draft pick for the Browns. Shedeur Sanders, the fifth-round draft pick rookie for the Browns, will be QB2. Excited to watch how that plays out. TJ Watt in that D-line could feast. Maybe we see a couple guys for the Browns. Who knows what this weekend has in store, but we know it's going to be special. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. We're incredibly lucky that we get to talk about sports. We genuinely feel that way. I was at an event last night that I'm not supposed to be at, strictly because I get to talk about sports, and that's because all of you. Thank you all so fucking much for allowing us to do this. And tomorrow's Game Day Live from Oregon is going to be bananas. This place is beautiful. They love ball. We'll see you then. Okay, that's off from that. That's off from that one by a lot.
Still think you got it in.
No,
You got it pretty solid here.
Yeah.
Was the graphic right? Yeah, the graphic was right.
Felt like it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we're off. We got to fix this clock too. We brought a new clock that we said was going to be right, like our building. Thunderdome brought this to the ESPN production people. Like
Maybe
it's
jet lagged. The clock's jet
We
lagged.
timed it up this morning, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the
4 or
replay.
5 seconds off. I think it was 4 or 5 seconds off on this thing. I didn't see the graphic pop up until the very end. I just want to let the people know that that's on us, not on you.
No, you
guys
nailed
have done
it.
a great job.
You nailed it. I just watched it on the
That's
TV. They actually got at the end too. You saying, was that graphic right before right before it goes? That's perfect.
Okay. So maybe the clock was right then. Maybe the graphic was. Oh, we'll have to
I think if we include
that's
the point ones of you know how there's a conversation in the NFL about how there's no like NBA 1 second, 0.1, whatever. If we were to include the point ones, I think we're right on the money.
Well, I just want to let everybody know here, these people that have been traveling around setting up this particular show from ESPN production crew, Barcode's crew, Billy Weeks' boys' crew here, this entire staff, these people have it dialed in. They're very good at what they do.
Hell yeah.
Very, very grateful. I mean, I got a PTZ set up here so I can just control the cameras. I'm cutting them on this thing. The amount of wiring, I'm talking to the back room on this button. I'm talking to the cams here on this particular button. Then obviously there's a cough button here. And all the wiring and connections and shit that goes into what we ask them to do, vastly different, obviously, than any other show that I'm cutting it up here. But that means they got to wire it all. So we are very appreciative. You guys are very good at what you do. We're very, very grateful and thankful for that, honestly.
Hell yeah,
now,
boys.
on that note, we can't be bringing them a wrong fucking clock, the boys. That's on us. We got to get a good clock out here. We got to get a good clock out here for the team who've been busting their ass. All right, let's get to a break. We'll pick the entire slate on the other side. We also have an incredible conversation with Coach Rhule to send you into the greatest weekend of all time. You are the best people on earth. I can't reiterate it enough. That's AJ Hawk. The boys are here. We'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5.
Bye.
You know what? I think there's only one thing left to do here. I've experienced cafecito time. I've experienced the wonderful culture. I've experienced the beautiful people, and I think we got some Canes over here. We got some Canes over here. We got some Canes over here. This day in Coral Gables is going to be one that I will remember for the rest of my life. Ray Lewis started his dance right here at Miami. Ed Reed started his legendary run here at Miami. The legends of football run deep. The moments are special. The national championships are in abundance. Just last year, a lovely University of Miami woman diver from Italy won a national championship. This thing's been staring at me all damn day.
You're out of your mind, brother. This is crazy.
Kirk, I'm a little winded.
That's what I was going to say. You talked the whole time you were running. I'm giving you a chance to catch your breath, you son of a bitch. You're crazy.
I hope somebody got a lifesaver over there.
Is there a lot of that?
Something. My man's out of breath.
It is a long way to the top.
Are you going to jump in your suit? Are you going to jump in that
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so
I'm tired for you. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to take the jacket off. Okay.
Okay.
Oh. He's taking the shirt off now.
Okay. All right.
Looking ripped. Looking
ripped.
ripped. Oh, he's taking the drawers off.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The pants.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Not the drawers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you come to this beautiful campus, you will notice quickly that the students here love this university. They love this atmosphere. And I'm with everybody. I think the U is back. Give me.
He's got the speed on. Oh, my God.
Give me the.
Canes, baby.
Here it goes.
Oh, God.
Here it goes. Feet together.
I think that was the lead one so for the Pacer.
Herby's got the U. Flashing it out.
Oh, my God.
McAfee with the refreshing plunge. Miami and Florida tonight. Let's have a look at that again. Check out the form, Herby. Oh, man.
Let's see the toe.
We need just to.
Hey, good, pretty good.
Legs together, right?
Perfect. Perfection. Went in and all.
It's been 222 days since we've done this. $250,000. I didn't expect that third one there.
Heard you ran in a CD last night. Is that accurate?
Not falling for it.
Fuck yeah!
I seen him dancing.
Basically naked.
I didn't see that.
Give me my first love. Give me the.
Canes, baby.
Here it goes. Feet together.
It was great, and I really enjoyed it. I passed this torch. I'm doing a great guy.
Coach, I'm kind of.
John Cena, you can't see me.
Oh, yeah! Yeah!
My clone's having a, hell of a first pitch.
That's wonderful to hear.
So we'll make it $300,000.
Gonna go on forever. Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
OH!
N-O.
Texas! Well, I want to let you. Okay, we're starting early. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
No, we're still live, Coach. We're still live. He was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Another one of these makes him wear.
They look amazing.
Thanks, I appreciate this.
Oh, yeah, Coach Saban.
Formation's called heavy, of course. I could call it just fat. They act.
Pro Football Hall of Fame nominee, A.J. Hawk. Hall of Famer, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It'd be news to me that the starting quarterback's been figured out.
Okay, so that has not been announced.
I'll go down and tell our staff right here.
Oh, no.
That was pretty profound what you just said right there.
Oh, shit.
It's also a great day to live in the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. Thank you. All roads leading to Eugene, and I can't help but say, hey, you make me want to jump, put my hands up and pick my heels up and all again now. A little bit something. softer now, a little bit 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 louder 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 now, a little bit louder. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great day in Oregon. You know, we go to Cannon. OH! We are! Thank you. I love this. Let me go ahead and cock that thing. Boom ball. Boom ball. Ah, boom. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Roughnecks. We got engineers, we got doctors, we got economists. We got real tests that have real implications happening. And all of these sons of said, give me college game day. Instead of studying, I had some questions about coming out here to Berkeley, but after experiencing it, it is very evident that this is one of the best cities in this here United States of America. USA, 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 USA. And this represents everything that is great with this country, with our sport. It doesn't matter which way you view the world. It doesn't matter which part of the country you're from. College football runs through our soul. And that is what a celebration today is all about. I am thankful to be here amongst these nerds and future geniuses and future people that are going to run this place. It's an honor to be in Berkeley. It's foggy. I think there's some skunks that died down the street, but this is awesome. Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Welcome in hour 3 of the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat at his desk here in Indianapolis. He's in Eugene, Oregon. We just had Coach Saban on, guys. He was very good. Football!
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. He was great. So wait, Pat, you're actually at Autzen Stadium there? That's not the training facility, or where are you?
Okay, so Autzen Stadium's that way. It's about 180 on that side. If we were to choose that side of it, we would have the stadium, but it didn't have that good of a view because it's just seats, basically. So this side, we got a little bit more trees. We got the soccer practice field right here, the baseball practice facilities over there. I assume they have their buildings around here somewhere. But yeah, it's everything's state-of-the-art and brand new. Everything. All the time.
And the foliage.
Upgrading at all times, too, aren't they?
Look at that foliage, man.
Unreal.
Yeah, you got... Yeah, it is. I mean, let's dance.
Can you imagine trick or treat out there? Trick or treat's probably beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Trick or treat probably is beautiful.
That's a good angle there.
Hey, shit. Hold on. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
That'll work. Oh, the beautiful colors.
Oh. Gosh, I can't wait for that.
I miss pine trees.
Where'd you have them last?
Where's cameraman? Can cameraman camera balance, please?
Pittsburgh, PA has a lot of pine trees.
You don't have any here?
I don't know if
You got to plant some yourself, bro.
Foxy, please fix that. Foxy, fix that blurriness.
Wish I could.
Foxy can't fix it.
No.
Anyways, it's light out here.
Hold
Kinda
on.
just had it for a second.
Hold on, turn towards the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Magic trick.
Wow.
That's movie magic, brother.
Is that baseball or softball?
Focus
Baseball.
here. Focus
It
here.
could be softball. It looks like a
Focus
short track.
I think it's softball.
Damn.
It's softball.
Anyways, it's beautiful here. It is a postcard, which you got to fly into, which you certainly have to. Here tomorrow will be a huge Actually, this way's sick. I wonder if this one will.
Yes.
We got it. We got to.
Okay.
I don't know. If this one,
Dude, those facilities do look absurd. Look at that soccer field. That's a practice field.
Oregon, bro.
Yeah. Hold on. There's a.
Ben Affleck played him, right, in the movie?
Yeah, he played Phil Knight. Yeah.
He did a great job.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. We got it. Pine trees over here with clouds.
Cloud mountain.
Kind of looks like Homeward Bound.
A little bit of an Arctic layer off,
Yeah,
the
I see that. Yeah.
Smog.
The Pacific Northwest is really bringing a little smog to the area.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's unbelievable, they say.
I believe the Bob Ross paintings are potentially up for grabs. Have you read that?
Whoa, excuse me?
All of them?
Yeah, I think there's a chance.
I know his estate. There's a whole thing with his estate and everything.
Oh, yeah. They
Well,
robbed him.
Kowalski family. I watched Kowalski family. I watched the documentary. I did. That was a business decision that was made by Bob Ross, though, which I think people would say, and obviously his family would say that he didn't like that business decision. Maybe he's a little bit too old to make that decision. We watched the documentary as everybody else did because we love Bob Ross painting, and I wish I could paint like him. That'd be really cool. He literally paints what this is out here. I think there's something going on with some of his paintings going up for sale, maybe for auction. I don't know. I think I saw something. Just know we'll definitely try to get in on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just like any cool things that are available, we are certainly put in a position to maybe try to acquire these things, and we will certainly do that for the entire cause. Speaking of acquiring, let's maybe have a perfect week by you. Let's pick
boys.
a perfect slate, AJ Hawk. Why don't you do that?
It's out there.
Let's start last night. Obviously, you picked the Eagles plus 7.5 at Coach McCarthy, and what?
You want to rephrase what you just said?
well, no, he had half of it. He said plus 7.5.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you had the Giants plus 7.5. Sorry, AJ. You had the Giants plus 7.5 at home alongside Coach McCarthy and Jack Carr.
Yeah, good point.
You're right. Jack
Should have known then.
No, he knew that.
Shoot.
Gumpy, will you please come join me up here, Gumpy? Jack Carr given that pick, okay, after McCarthy gives that pick and you give that pick, and then Tone gives us that damn stat, the 13 and 30 stat, and I just go, yeah, but it's the Eagles. I'm sick of me. I am. I'm absolutely sick of it. I play drums on it.
Get in there, go.
Rhule had on the beard.
Play drums.
Is everything all right?
I can't hear anything.
You got to turn that up. Yeah, each of these are
Just
both
keep
yours.
ruffling around. Keep
Now
rustling
we're in
around.
the game.
You good? You can hear it?
Got it, Hawker. Don't worry, Hawker.
That is a hawker down there. How do you feel about the helmets? How do you feel about it?
Good helmets. Nice green on there.
How do you feel about the trip out here last night?
It's good. Good
Gumpy's
bird.
kind of taking over the desk right now. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Did you see that? He's invading.
Yeah, he's trying to
He's invading.
establish
He's back
dominance.
In his Pacific North. He's back in his Pacific
Back on the
Northwest.
West Coast, boys.
home
That's
game.
still good to be out here. We are 45 minutes away from the beach. Shout out to Paisan Anthony, a member of the SWAT team out here hanging out with us. 45 minutes to the beach, one direction, obviously west. And then east, you're an hour away from the mountains where you can go ski and snowboard.
Wow.
So it's pretty perfect little setup here in Eugene. It's pretty beautiful. What's that? Go ahead, comment.
Just imagine like the people who settled that place, what they would have thought about it, the first people to get there. Like, this is the greatest place on earth. You got everything up here with the Buffalo Bills in Oregon.
Think about the people that pushed that far along. Like,
Yeah.
the settlers is a crazy conversation to have because I'd like to think that I'd make it all the way over there. You know, I'd like to think that I would do that. But boy, you get me over there to Oklahoma, maybe even a Lake Indiana. I mean, shit, you give me to fucking where I'm living right now. And I'm walking across.
Good here.
And it's terrible. And we got a bunch of we're trying to forge rivers and shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I see the view that I have, and I'm like, give me this. I'll just stay right here. But I would have been called soft because they were trying to make it all the way to the West Coast. If you made it all the way to Oregon, that would be an insane amount of just fortitude and just the amount of mental toughness and actual physical toughness as you head from Pittsburgh trying to make your way all the way up here to the Pacific Northwest. It's a beautiful country, every piece of it, and we're certainly seeing the top left of it. And let's make our picks now, Age. Age, you're 1-0 going in to Sunday morning as the Broncos will take on the Jets in London. Now, we've seen some explosive international games thus far to kick out our days. Gumpy, are you expecting Broncos-Jets to have one of those thrillers to start our morning?
No, I imagine this will be an absolute shite kicking the way the Jets are going. Broncos are playing good football. I don't think the Jets are going in the right direction. Everybody wants to say they are, and it's going to get better. I don't think think it is.
Connor likes the way the Jets are headed strictly because Aaron Glenn's there, and it takes a little bit to build a culture, especially one that has been absolute shite for so long and seemingly cursed by all parties. Broncos favored by 6.5. AJ, what are your thoughts in London town?
Man, so 6.5, I honestly thought this might be a little higher than 6.5.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Broncos minus 6.5. I think they definitely can win by 7 or more. But the Jets, they're chasing that elusive first victory with Aaron Glenn, aren't they?
Yeah, and first turnover. There are 7.5s out there as well if you did fancy the Jets.
I fancy the Broncos at minus 6.5.
I do as well, and shout out to Good Day London Town over there. Sean Payton's got it up in a moment, or let's go to the next game, shall we? Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, 1 p.m. on CBS. Steelers favored by 6.5 at home against Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, Zip on the Ball Zappy, Myles Garrett, Kevin Stefanski. And did you see Deshaun Watson throwing the ball around in the practice facility?
It's a loaded quarterback room. Absolutely loaded quarterback room.
Is it Deshaun Watson? They tried to write me off. I sort of was wrote off. I played like I was off, and I didn't write back, though. Deshaun Watson season coming right now. AJ, is that what we got going on?
I'm telling you, what I mentioned a couple weeks ago on the program. Like, what happens when Deshaun wants to come back and play? He's going to be healthy eventually, right? Can they shut him down?
And it looked like he's working.
Yeah.
It looked like he's working. It looked like he is putting in the work. Like, throw technique looked good. Drills looked natural. Didn't look like he was exhausted. Looked like he was putting in the work. It's like when Deshaun Watson gets dropped back into this whole Cleveland Browns quarterback experiment, I cannot wait for the conversation. But that's not this weekend. That's not this weekend. Tone, you guys are favored by 6.5 at home.
Yep.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear of my life. Tone, your thoughts?
The Steelers have won 21 straight in Pittsburgh against the Cleveland Browns. Mike Tomlin is 14-4 off of a bye. Mike Tomlin is 26-6 against rookies. The Browns are flying back from London. What could go wrong this weekend?
Okay. Sounds like this is Steelers in a landslide. AJ, you going that way?
Yep. Give me the Steelers minus 6.5.
You get 5.5.
Minus 5.5 at home. I'll take Steelers.
Yeah.
Dumpy, that's what you're doing as well?
Yeah, the boys were crushing beers at the Guinos game last night. You love to see it.
What game?
You love to see it. Love to see it.
Love that Pittsburgh's all the way back to. Are the Pens undefeated? Yeah, they are. Rangers, Dahn. Islanders, Dahn. Boys chugging beers, good. Pittsburgh seemingly all the way back. TJ Watt not wearing a jersey. He said, I'll dress the part, but I'm not wearing the whole song and dance here.
Those were the seats that we said.
Great seats.
Exact
Great
same
little
ones.
suite
Unreal.
behind there. Yeah, it is a phenomenal setup over there at PPG Paints Arena. Congrats to the Pens being undefeated, by the way. You're going to carry that the entire season.
Hell yeah, boys. Go on, boys.
We're all in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did the Bruins win again or no?
Funny enough,
Yeah,
they
they
did. 2-0, baby. We won in overtime.
Love that. Hockey's off to a hot start for us. Cowboys, Carolina Panthers. Cowboys favored by 3.5 heading into Charlotte. 49.5 over/under. Dak was one of the top 5 QBs in Coach McCarthy's fastball first 5, top 5. AJ, who do you like? How do you like it?
I'm going to have a hard time picking against the Cowboys here. I like what Dak is doing. I think Dak is awesome. I think the defense is slowly maybe getting better in Dallas, so give me the Cowboys minus 3.5.
You get a 3?
Can we? Oh, we like that. Can we pull the percentage bet thing back up, the graphic that we have?
Oh, yeah.
Can we pull that thing back up? Because I assume we've already knocked. What's that, brother?
My bad. I was going to say this is one of those ones with possible trade candidates on it because the Cowboys, I guess, the Panthers, I guess, are starting former running back Rico Dowdle against the Cowboys. Yeah, kind of revenge game, and some people are pontificating that Chuba Hubbard might be on the trade block after this week.
Got it. And that's 69% of the money right there is being bet on the Dallas Cowboys, which odds and stats this season have told us has not boded well for the public. And on that note, me and AJ are both joining them. Give the Cowboys. Chargers, Dolphins. Chargers favored by 3.5. Herbert and Tua. Here we go. We find out if the draft was right or not.
Yeah.
That's what we're finding out this weekend.
That's right. That's right.
Over under 43.5. Gumpy, how do you feel about it?
We can't stop the run, and Chargers have no running backs. This would be a game the Dolphins would win for no reason at all because Herbert's never beat the Dolphins. But I got no confidence with this Dolphins team right now. You can't. Our O-line stinks. You can't run the ball. It's tough.
Is Tua okay? He was banged up a little bit, right? Is he all right?
Yeah, he's got his hip and thumb, I believe. He'll be out there. I think Cedric Wilson is playing.
Oh, nice.
Our O-line's still banged up. Our guys that were supposed to be back this week going to be out for another several weeks. So, but Willie Gay maybe gets some burn because Dodson is out with a concussion. If Willie Gay does not play snaps with Dodson out, then this is serious malpractice.
Gumpy trying to coach from Eugene, Oregon here at the Miami Dolphins. Much like the dolphin, the mammal, Gumpy's been underwater with his fanhood here of this particular team over the last few weeks. And we've all seen, and I wore these actually, the off-white, strictly because of McDaniel's little walk out so we can get the tag, to kind of hit me in the foot there. And on that note, I'll take the Chargers, -3.5. AJ, who do you got?
I mean, with Gumpy really sold the Dolphins on his little diatribe talking about how well the team is doing, but I'm going to have to go against Gump here and take the Chargers -3.5.
Is this all too obvious? We're all on the same side. Patriots taking on the Saints. Saints fresh off a huge dub. Huge. Rattler, this guy, they said can't actually win. Like, that's the thing. Like, he actually just can't win. And what he needs to do is maybe go out to the trees and find a new him. That's what they were saying there for a while. That's what they were saying for a little bit of a time, that maybe Rattler needs to just disappear for a while and stop doing NFL football because the guy can't buy a win. Then poof, he does. And are they going to continue that? Are they about to go on a heater? I know, Connor, you're very worried about this Saints team down there. What are your thoughts on your New England Patriots, pal?
Yeah, I've been saying this for a while. Rattler is a top 10 quarterback. No one really is given his respect. You know, once Bob Saleh said Rattler's going to be a household name, man, I went in and checked the tape, and he's right. This kid's got some shit to him. With that being said.
You worried?
Look, I definitely feel better about the Pats versus the Bills than I do against the Saints this week. Last week it was kind of a layup, but Christian Gonzalez was added to the injury report with a hamstring again, so I don't know if he's a full go or not, and especially after last night, he's limited, but especially after yesterday where Jalen Carter just kind of out of nowhere missed the game, even though that's a short week, I do get a little worried about that, but if the Patriots lose this game, then everything we said on Monday's horseshit, so I expect them to win by 25.
Okay, Drake May maybe doesn't get rattled heading down there. Spencer Rattler, the Rattler, maybe a little rat poison after having a big-time win. AJ, you like the Patriots or the Saints?
I like the Patriots on this one, Pat.
Me too. This is all too easy. Gumpy, you're on the same side?
Yeah, it's the line reeks. It's a bad spot, but I think the way Drake's going, and Vrabel's not going to let these boys let off the gas pedal here. They'll keep rolling.
AJ, I have some bad news for you, brother. Me and you picking the same here is not good, I don't think, in the history of this entire thing. Los Angeles Rams at the Baltimore Ravens. We know Butta's going to be there. Stavi's going to be there. They're going to show up. That place is going to be jumping. Los Angeles Rams have won over there before. Remember, I think it was a punt return or something like that got him the game a couple years back. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, all the boys are absolutely cooking. Devontae Adams, obviously don't want to mismention him. Favored by 7.5. 7.5 taking on Cooper Kush. AJ, who do you like? How do you like it?
I mean, can you pick the Ravens here? Are you thinking about picking the Ravens on this one?
You can.
It is a 1 p.m. game.
Sportsbooks. 10 a.m. for the Los Angeles folks. But they're used to that now at this point, right?
Yeah,
they got to be.
I think so.
There's a 7 out there as well.
I'll take the Los Angeles Rams -7. It's going to be tough to pick the Ravens at this stage until their bye week or 2 weeks from now.
Me too.
There's still plus money to miss the playoffs. I'll get in on that while you can.
Ravens plus, but they're still the favorites to win the AFC North.
Yeah, I don't see how they come back. Like, they weren't good when Lamar was healthy. Like, this is the whole season. They haven't been good.
That's
And you like the Rams, AJ?
Yeah, I like the Rams.
No, go ahead.
That's just for you guys keeping track. That's 6 out of 6 favorites so far, just so you guys know.
Ooh.
And all the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, we got to trust our instincts.
Yeah, you got to do what your heart.
Got a great dog coming up right here.
Your heart is your North Star.
This is a great week for a money line parlay, though. This is a great week for a money line parlay.
Who knows what's going to happen with these points? AJ, it feels like we're just some mark-ass hoes right now.
No.
Yeah, it does feel like that. The Seattle Seahawks traveling to Duval. That's a long trip. 1 o'clock game as well. Seahawks favored by 1.5, taking on Liam Cohen-led Jacksonville Jaguars. Just for everything that we've said about the Seattle Seahawks, we know they're a good football team. We're thankful to be up here in the Pacific Northwest where obviously these Seahawks buzz around and have a good time. This Jacksonville Jaguars team, though, we've talked about them being legit. Trevor Lawrence obviously has a couple moments of Trevor Lawrence experience football every single game, but maybe this is the year for the Jags. 1 o'clock start in Jacksonville. It's going to be hot, baby. What's the temperature down there in Duval? Do we understand or know what that is yet?
All right, beautiful.
Hopefully.
73.
Perfect.
McDonald's only ever lost once on the road since becoming Seahawks head coach.
10 of 11 or 9 of 10?
Not positive on the exact.
Ooh, I think it was 9
of 10. Or,
I think it was 9 of 10, and then he won one, and I think it's a 10 of 11 now. I think.
And it's 76.
That's an unbelievable start. That's an unbelievable 76 degrees. Thank you, Tone, for getting that in there. So I will get the Seahawks won into Pittsburgh.
They did.
They did.
Seahawks are a good football team.
Jags are a good football team too.
Jags
the Chiefs.
won with their quarterback stumble.
Short week.
This is one of these lines. Also,
This
you
is two
can
good
whatever
football
team
teams.
you take, you could get them at +1.5.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like
Thank
that
you,
option.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Dogs.
AJ, who do you like?
I'm taking the Jags here at +1.5. I mean, they beat the Chiefs when Trevor jumps and tries to score from the half-inch line and gets the butt knocked out. They still find a way to win that game, so I'm taking them here.
Okay, and we'll do East Coast bias through and through. Give me the Jags. Cardinals at Colts. Colts 7.5. Don't know if there's enough points to put on that one. AJ, you're with me. Yep.
I have to go Colts here, absolutely.
6.5 is out there.
Yep.
Ooh.
Give
We'll
it
take
to
that.
me.
We'll take that. We would take we would take 10.5 too if it was that was the line, but we'll take 6.5, especially in that loud house. They're gonna have to prove it to us. I don't know if are we going dark on your guys' side?
Yes.
The camera there? I don't know. It's been a little. There's been some flickering going on over here, and maybe that's just because it's spooky season. It's October.
Because you picked the Jags, probably.
Oh, that's
Pacific
Seattle.
Northwest.
That's the Seahawks coming down.
That's a good point.
There is a chance that's what that is. Cardinals, Colts. We're both on the Colts. Titans, Raiders. Raiders favored by 3.5 at home. Cam Ward gets a chance to go do some Las Vegas stuff. Gumpy, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think the Titans keep it going. 3.5. Raiders have looked like absolute shite since week 1 against the Patriots. I think Titans, not great, but they are trending in the right direction.
AJ, I mean, after what just happened with Colts Raiders, you would think that they would want to bounce back in a big way at home, but maybe they are just not good. But I wouldn't believe Pete Carroll.
Might see Kenny Pickett.
I think there's a lot of money if we were to go to that most bet games. I feel like there's most of the money's actually on the Titans.
Correct.
Yeah, there they are. 61% on the Titans.
Give me the Raiders, Pat. I'm taking the Raiders here. I was thinking Titans early, but Raiders got to figure
You
something.
get them at -3.5. You can get the Titans at +4.5.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, -3.5 Raiders.
That's a good number. That's a good number.
I'm up here in Eugene. Give me the time team. I'll take the Titans. I'll take the Titans +4.5. San Francisco 49ers at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks favored by 3.5 at home. Mac Jones returning to the state of Florida. Mac Jones returning to the state. Mac Jones is heading to the state of Florida to try to take on Baker Mayfield. A lot of moxie at the quarterback position here this weekend for Baker, Moxie Mayfield, and Moxie Mac Jones. AJ, who do you like? How do you like it?
Well, I think at this one, I'm going to take Baker, Moxie Mayfield here at -3.5.
Something to think about. Mac Jones is a Florida boy. He's from Jacksonville. I assume his entire family's going to be in Tampa.
So he's going to try to press. He's going to try to, put the ball in the window. Maybe that he normally does. Do too much for the people.
And he played there.
Maybe brings the gritty back.
How much can we? I love that from his rookie year when he made the Pro Bowl. How much can we kind of put into the fact that this Buccaneers team is the last Playboys, the final Playboys? 3.5 is more than, there's a chance for a twofer here.
Yeah.
There's a chance for a twofer here. I'll take the Niners +3.5 here.
Okay.
But I think the Bucks win. I think the Bucks win this game. I'll take the Niners.
And AJ, you can get a 3 there for those.
Give me 3. Bucks at 3.
Okay, Bengals at Holy fuck. That's my first time seeing that line.
Yeah. Bingo. Bingo.
Oh, my.
You kidding me?
Hold on. This is Jackson Dart last night. This is Jackson Dart exactly situation last night. I was watching the Pat McAfee, and they were talking about the spread as if they made it. 14.5 is the first thing I noticed there, and I go absolutely crazy. Joe Flacco gets a chance to showcase to another team how great he is. He gets a chance to, duel against a defense that he's already dominated for 140 yards this season. Green Bay at Lambeau taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Are they going to be sellers at the trade deadline because maybe the way they constructed their team with their salary cap wasn't necessarily suited for winning football games in 2025? Or are the Cincinnati Bengals with this Hail Mary, this Joe Flacco Hail Mary, going to turn it all around until Joe Burrow can get back? 14.5 is a lot of points. Ty, I know you hated seeing 14.5 right there, brother.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we all know what Joe Flacco can do. Apparently, Jamar Chase did just pop up with like some sort of illness. I mean, he's going to play. There's no question about that. I would think Packers, Zach Tom, and Aaron Banks, the entire right side of their O-line hasn't played for a little bit coming out of the bye. I'm thinking they are going to play. But now McManus potentially might not play on Sunday. So, 14.5, like it just, I don't know. I'll be very, very concerned. This cannot come down to a field goal. And I have that feeling that Joe Flacco is going to keep this thing tight. It's going to come down to a field goal, and we're going to be trotting out a backup out there, and it's not going to go well. So we'll see. Kind of all eyes are on what is Brandon McManus' status going into Sunday.
Yeah, Brandon McManus has been great for the Packers. He's been great everywhere he's gotten a kick. Had a situation pop up where he's falsely accused of something, took away a couple of his prime years. You're talking about a guy who could potentially be on the track of being one of the greatest kickers of all time. And he is
nails.
Very talented, very, very, very good. Hopefully he'll still kick for a long, long time. Didn't like seeing him get injured. AJ, what do you think in this one? You think Joey Flacco just gets smacked?
No, I don't think so.
There's a chance, I guess.
Yeah, there is a chance. Green Bay's defense, we know, can play at a very high level. 14.5 just seems like so much. I feel like I normally would pick the Packers here and think, oh, yeah, of course they're going to win by 2 or 3 scores. But I think there's always some weird garbage touchdown or something to make the game look closer than it actually was. So I'm taking Bengals.
The Packers have also had multiple, like the games they won this year when it was like a blowout. Like it's always the takeaway is, well, the score doesn't indicate how much of a blowout. Like they don't step on teams' throats, really. They'll get up 21, 24 points and then kind of just – 3 and out, run it 3 times, punt, and then teams they'll backdoor them pretty frequently.
Yeah, I think the only other spread, sorry, my bad, Tone, of 14+ was the Saints at Bills, and the Saints did end up covering that.
You are correct, but AJ, are you still wearing the split Bengals-Packers jersey and doing coin toss for this game? Or?
We're doing a coin toss.
That's cool. It's the AJ Hawk Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't think I got the invite. They didn't invite me. So, no, I don't think I'll be there.
I didn't get invited. I'll take the Bengals plus 14.5. AJ?
Give me the Bengals plus 14.5, yeah.
I love it. You guys are
strictly because I'll be able to wake up and say, I bet on Joe Flacco. I gave him a chance.
Yeah, bingo.
One last ride. It could be 24-3 with a minute left, and then Flacco can go score a touchdown.
Flacco throws a 97-yard touchdown in the air.
10. Or he runs one.
Walked in back.
Yeah, bingo.
Catches it himself.
Exactly.
Catches it himself. All right, and then Detroit Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a big one for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Detroit Lions, obviously, every game's a big game because they're in the middle of their MCDC era, and they could be potentially, they could go down as changing an entire city, an entire football culture in a huge way. Every game is big. For the Kansas City Chiefs, this feels like a big one. Yeah. This really does.
Huge.
The Detroit Lions are not the Lions of yesteryear, but the Detroit Lions are certainly a good thermometer of what you're going to have to face in the playoffs. And after losing to Jacksonville the way you did on primetime, then you take on this Detroit team and you don't look good, it's going to get loud. It's going to get loud for this Kansas City Chiefs team. And I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs supporter. And they are favored by 2.5 against the Detroit Lions team. What am I missing, Foxy? Why are the Chiefs favored by 2.5 at home?
Pat, I have no idea. All week long, I've been trying to figure out. All week long, this line has been inside my brain. Because normally, had I not seen this line, I would have said the Lions go into Arrowhead, kick their ass, take care of business. But this line, Vegas knows something. And for the first time, I am not a blame the refs guy, but we got to be on alert for something fishy to happen in this game.
Come on, Foxy.
Why is this the case? Why is this the case? And just like you said, the Chiefs just lost. Are the Chiefs going to lose again? I don't think the NFL wants that. I think the Lions are a better team. The Lions are incredible on prime time.
Taylor's
and
gonna
the
be
Lions
there.
are great when they're underdogs. It's just none of it makes sense. So we're going to see what happens. So that's why I had to get out and say this.
Yeah, I like my friends cancer. She's gonna be there. That's why.
She has to be.
Sportsbooks understand.
Also, the Lions
Live on the show, girls about to come.
the Lions are the most popular pick of the weekend. I think they're like 85% or so.
Vegas knows
85,
something.
Yeah, 85%.
Yeah, this reeks.
I would like to let the brother of the Japanese maple tree build penis.
What?
That I am a believer. What's that?
Sorry, what?
I got you.
What's that?
I was trying to process exactly what you said.
His brother, the brother of the Japanese maple tree penis, the brother is the redwood, pal. Okay?
Yes.
And that man is still playing football. That man is still on a mission to be great. Patrick Mahomes, he don't like what happened. He said, we ain't win better. Whatever he said, he's not happy about it. Andy Reid's not going to be pumped about it. Spags, you think Spags is enjoying this? Absolutely not. Tobe, yeah, right. Give me the Chiefs minus 2.5 Sunday Night Football because it makes no sense at all.
Offense did look better against the Jags, though.
And the week before, they put up 30 plus.
Yeah, their offense is looking better.
This makes no sense. This makes no sense, AJ.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, with all that being said, as the brother of the Japanese dong tree, I will take the Detroit Lions at plus 2.5.
No, it's the Japanese maple is the tree that resembles his penis best, is what I learned.
Wake up, Hoggo.
You're right.
Which is crazy because the Japanese maples.
Okay, clear.
Thank you.
Jeez,
Well, I mean, yeah, it does feel weird, but I'm taking
Keep up with
Detroit.
topical. Keep up with this stuff. It matters.
I know.
We're daily.
I know.
Keep
That's
up
why I
with
repeated it.
She likes her friends cancel Gucci and Maybe she gets microphone in sweet.
Ooh, and does like the Bills promo before Sunday Night Football. The Fred Jackson one last week. Taylor does one this week.
Should. You're right.
Oh.
No, she does wood, I think. She puts wood going into the fourth quarter.
Okay.
I think, hey, we're swinging it this quarter. I think that's
sure.
Trav runs out there and starts flopping it all around.
Yeah. Like Chiefs Queen. Of
course.
There's a chance. Before we get out of here, we got to celebrate an absolute legend celebrating another trip around the sun. ZD baby.
Really?
ZD baby.
Zito.
The founder of Zito Production, a father of two with a very young baby at home. Obviously married to Coco. Celebrate another year. Happy birthday, Zito.
Happy birthday, Zito.
To you.
This is awesome. Happy birthday to you. He's in the back.
The baby man.
Happy birthday,
We got one still lit.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Happy birthday, Zito.
Love you, Z.
Hope you like hot wax on the cake.
Fuck, where is he?
Where'd it go now?
How come they never give me a heads up, man? It's ice cream cake, and it's fire.
Fucking melting.
Dude, I think is that a bike? Is that a BMX track? Or what is the?
You better get a dyno and get out there. Mongoose.
Let me see this. Let me see this.
A BMX team? So sick of you.
Front and back pegs. Get Gump on the front pegs.
Is that a?
You're more of a backpack guy?
Oh, hell yeah.
At least a skate park.
No, I think it's dirt.
What
I
is
think
that?
it's
That's
I mean, I could
awesome.
get my blades or a
That's
skateboard
sick.
or a bike on that.
Okay, and then let's also remember where we're at here. Let's go ahead and just take a look at a little happy.
Man, what's up there? It's like the Unabomber.
So beautiful.
Jeez. You think the Unabomber lived up there?
He lived in similar situation.
Yeah, no, he's in jail.
I'll tell you, you want to get away, this is a place to do it. There's a tree to hide behind right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. I need to go pee. Go behind the tree. Which one? That one? Oh. And then that one. EP around that one. Oh, Eugene's Emerald Valley BMX. That's what that is.
Oh, hell, that's
Bruce
so cool.
So sick.
Bruce, yeah.
Oh, we'd get so much air on that.
That's filthy.
What time are you guys going?
Yeah. Gump. I bet Gump.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
I
They
mean-
got a mongoose out there? You think they got a
Guaranteed.
mongoose on it?
Yeah, Colt Nichols mentioned to us he loved that track when he was in here before the BMX.
That's motocross. Okay, a little different than BMX,
shit!
but I respect what you're saying. Yeah.
Gabe Mira.
Yeah, Mira's there.
Gabe
This one-
Matt Hoffman.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryan Nyquist.
Son of a gun.
Oh, Nyquist.
Pink's husband.
What a dog.
Pink's husband.
Nah, he's a motorcycle.
Motor. He's motocross.
He's a moto guy.
Yeah, he was a member of the militia. The metal militia. The metal militia.
That's
BMX X Games. What a great time. All right.
Bob Burnquist.
Those aren't heavy bikes.
Bob was skateboarding.
I mean, I'm about to go take a heavy buck over there. I should get one of those. What are those e-bikes that we got? That
shit.
were really nice.
Serial 5.
Yeah, it is.
Those things are awesome. We need to ship one of
What
those.
if they have dune buggy you can take out?
Get you on there tonight.
Yeah, will they let you rip a dune buggy on that thing?
That would be sick.
I don't know. I mean, I'll ask.
You should just take a golf cart, dude. Fuck it.
Jump on Gump's back and let him run you around.
Marshawn Lynch.
All right. Hey, great work this week, boys. We got an entire day left ahead of us over here. Boy.
Yeah, get some rest,
Yeah,
dude. Seriously.
seriously.
I mean, just at least get a nap or something. Jeez.
Zito sent me a text. He said, you flew roughly 3,202 miles.
Holy hell.
It was an honor to be there. I got to see this beautiful country from one side to the other.
Hell yeah.
And it was certainly worthy. Getting a chance to celebrate the hell out of good people doing good things for society last night in New York. And then getting a chance to come out here and celebrate the hell out of football. It's an honor to do this. That's another week done. We appreciate you all. Great work in the back, boys. Great work in the
Good
back.
work, boys.
Pop lefty there, pop lefty there, and righty, and lefty, and righty. And let's be sophisticated. And let's golf clap. Let's golf clap. That's a pretty good clap. That's a good clap. Now let's go like we're doing a cadence. We need to clap loud. It's Nick Saban practice. And how about a slow clap here? Let's go to a slow clap here. This is a good one. Yeah, that's what I like. That's why, especially with the delay, we're still able to match it. Quack, 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 quack.
Ducks.
We're gonna hear that a lot out here. I'm excited for that. AJ, way to travel out here, man. We appreciate you doing
That
it.
baby Hawker.
Yes, sir.
Talk to table, really good work, boys.
Hey,
Appreciate
you
it.
guys.
You too.
Ty, sorry about what happened to your team.
Yeah.
Yankees.
It's all right. It's football season now.
Yeah.
Fully football season. It's all right.
Congratulations to the Cubs last night.
Yep.
Big time win.
Yep.
Big time.
Game 5 tomorrow.
And the Dodgers, obviously a big game, big win over the Phillies. Tone, great work this week, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. You too.
Graphic department, way to go out there, boys.
Good work, graphic boys.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you to all the guests that came on this week and gave us a little piece of information or something to make fun of. Both those things are good. That is very good for our program. I don't know about other places, but definitely good here. And thank you to Coach Rhule for joining us earlier in the week and getting a chance to catch up with the Nebraska Cornhusker coach for about 20 minutes or so. I think you all would enjoy the conversation. I think you all are going to have the greatest weekend of all time. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. AJ, anything to say?
Let's have a better one next week, fellas.
All right.
That
was good, AJ. Have the greatest weekend of all time, AJ. We'll see you on Monday, okay? Overreaction Monday is about to be glorious with everything that's about to take place over the next couple of days. We're talking about maybe the most historic weekend of all time. And the reason why we're thinking like this is because we have no idea if it's not going to be. What if this is the greatest weekend of ball that ball has ever had? Holy shit. What if baseball actually has a little bit of electricity? What if college football delivers in a massive way? And then football from 9:30 in the morning all the way until 1 a.m. at night Eastern time? Yeah. Let's have the greatest games of all time. We'll see you guys on Monday. The NHL also going to kick some ass on the ice. We appreciate them for doing that. And then are the Aces about to just sweep this thing? There's a chance. Sports are the greatest. You people are as well. Team on me. Team on 3. Have a great weekend. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to chit-chat with a man who is currently 4-1 with national championships still in front of them if they're able to win it all. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach from Nebraska, Matt Rhule.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, great to see you. Obviously, after the bye, we didn't get a chance to catch up last week. Huge win over Michigan State. How do you feel? How was the vibes, and how was the win, Coach?
You know what? It was a great win. I think Michigan State has a really good football team, but I'll tell you what, bro, it's playing in the Midwest. It was 40, 45, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. It was an unbelievable day. It was 90 degrees and the wind blew like crazy. We scored to tie the game to start the third quarter and kicked off, and they couldn't field the ball because they got caught up in the wind. That's how intense the weather was.
It's those days, Coach, where I'm thankful that I'm not kicking a ball anymore. You know, like on Sunday mornings, whenever you're a punter and you're in an away game or something like that, and you don't know what it's going to be like, open stadium, you wake up in the morning, you pull back the blinds, and then you try to find a flag on top of a building somewhere. And then whenever you see it, and if that thing is at full attention, anxiety immediately kicks in, and you go, great, today is going to be awful. But in the Midwest, Big Ten, you got to be able to battle through that. I see you had a block kick, or a block punt, obviously, for a touchdown. Are we humming in all 3 phases at this point? How do you feel, post the big, I don't want to say big, but your only loss? How do you feel now building off of this particular game as you head into a cagey Maryland team at Maryland for your first away game? This is your first actual true away game. There was a neutral site game against Cincy, which was a huge win for you guys, especially with how Cincy is playing and continuing to play. But now first road game is against Maryland here. How do you feel going in there, and what are your thoughts?
We feel good. We feel like I appreciate what you said. Like, we beat Cincinnati 20-17, and people are like, oh, that's awfully close. They're a heck of a football. They just beat a ranked Iowa State team. I think they have more votes in the top 25 than we do. So, people are recognizing how good Cincinnati is, which I love. Michigan got us. It was a close game. But to come out this past week, to block a punt for a touchdown, we had a bunch of big – right now we're out punt returning our opponent 239 yards to -1. So we're playing great special teams. Dylan's playing well. The defense is, stopping the run. Maryland's an excellent team. They're also 4-1. So it's good Big Ten football. And I think the thing in the Big Ten is we always think about there's a lot of good teams in the Big Ten. So this will be a good game.
Year 3, Matt Rhule program. This is just kind of what it's been. It's kind of what it's been. No, they lost the game, though. They didn't go perfect. Well, still. Yeah. I mean, we got a couple away games. You got to go at Penn State, obviously. That's a big one as we look ahead. I know you're just looking week to week, and you got to go at UCLA, which is a talking point across the Big Ten. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Coach, why do you think that is always the first excuse for coaches when they lose a game, when they have to travel like that? Obviously, you guys are going to Maryland. It's not that's not a cross-country travel situation, but you still have to travel. But with the state of college football now, why are coaches acting like – when you guys go out to UCLA, why are coaches acting like you're walking from Nebraska to UCLA? You're flying on a chartered flight. These kids have done it before. Obviously, you coached in the NFL, so you kind of maybe understand it a little bit more. But, why is that such an easy excuse? And do you think that there is actually cause for using that as an excuse when you don't perform, when you have to travel for one of these cross-country games?
Well, I'm not one of those coaches because I have not said that. And I'm like...
Yet?
No.
It's in the back pocket, though.
No, yeah, I got it if needed. No. I mean, the game comes down to blocking and tackling. It comes down to making plays, and I trust our players. And so we're gonna always try to make things all about football. And traveling. Obviously, traveling always has a little bit of an effect. The thing about the Big Ten, unlike any other conference except maybe now the ACC, is there's these huge swings. Like this week, we're going to go to Maryland. It's on the East Coast. We're playing at 3. We'll get back probably, 11 midnight. Then we turn around and go on the road next Friday for Minnesota. If as a coach, you could complain about that. But for me, I'm just like, you know what? We've known we have to do that. it would be a disservice to our players to complain about it. So we're not going to complain about anything. Like we get to go to Los Angeles and play UCLA. We get to go to Maryland. We get to go to Penn State. And you know what? People also have to come play us and play in the wind and play in the elements. I think the Big Ten should be, instead of complaining about it, I think we should be celebrating it and saying, hey, all you guys in your conferences that fly 30 minutes or drive and bus, try come doing what we do one time. Try going 6 hours like Washington had to do and then turn around and flying back and then playing a Friday game. It's really hard, but we're not going to complain about it. We're just going to go try to win the game.
You got to be a mentally tough team to be in the Big Ten, obviously, and this is another kind of example of that, I think, in a big way, especially with the traveling. But the teams that you have to travel to, I'm thinking about that this weekend because we're going to Oregon for College Game Day. And I'll tell you what, Oregon, once you get there, beautiful place. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's green. It's not. It was the last time we went up there, which I think was last year, and then 2 years ago. I've been there a couple times now. Once you land there, it is a postcard. It is glorious and everything like that. But it's far. It is funny. I'm taking the same flight that this Indiana Hoosier team is taking, basically, because they're 45 minutes south of here. So that's a long way. So I have put myself in the thing. How would I feel with this? And there's certainly a player, prehab, rehab. What do you do with your body? When do you eat? When do you sleep? How do you go about staying hydrated on the plane? All that. Because it is an inconvenience to be in a tube. Okay, for that long. It would be much better to live your life and be able to move and do your life than be in a tube for that long. I mean, I just flew to Australia. I don't even know how I did. I still don't know how I accomplished it. I mean, I genuinely don't know what it is. So it's certainly an inconvenience. But all those teams on the West Coast, they got to do it for every away. Like, they are also, I think that's a good point. And I think you were chit-chatting potentially about the SEC because the SEC, Sankey, obviously the commissioner, he brags about how we are still the Southeastern Conference. We are still geographically what we are, which is why he doesn't want to expand as much. I think he takes a lot of pride in that factor. But as we found out in the playoffs, you got to be able to win in a cold.
That's right.
You got to be able to win in a dogfight. And you got to be able to win after flying for 5-6 hours, maybe for 7-8 hours. Whatever it is. Right. From one side of the country. Oh, that's Big Ten football. I don't know if you can just pick that up in a practice or in a bowl week. I don't know if you can find that. That's the difference. That's what you're saying? It sounds like that's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Tone has a question for you. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you. You mentioned College Game Day going to Oregon. How was Penn State? How was Beaver Stadium? What was that atmosphere like?
Okay, so that was my first time being there for a nighttime whiteout. Okay, which obviously I've learned about and known about since its very beginning. It started whenever I was in college at West Virginia, AQ's team, 2007. It was the first one. So this thing kind of captivated the globe. The whiteout. And this was my first time getting an opportunity to experience it. It was awesome, dude. It was an electric atmosphere. And they're in the middle of a renovation, as you know. And they still have 112,000 people in there. And it feels like it's right on top of you. And literally it's just like a white blanket just kind of wrapped around. And then the DJ, whoever's the in-game DJ, perfectly timed music. Mo Bamba hits at as soon as a body hits the ground, Mo Bamba's hitting, and that thing, it was awesome. Now they lose to Oregon. Now that was, when that pick happens, I mean, that is a devastating.
Yeah.
Just out of that place. Because as you know, outside, getting out of there, I think, is pretty difficult from my understanding. And boy, 100 and some thousand after the way that game ended with all the day. Game day was electric. Those people were insane. The outside parking lot area, Stanford Steve came into a bus I was in at the time, 2 hours before kickoff, and we were about to head in. I was like, how is it out there? And he goes, absolute destruction. And I'm like, where? He goes, everywhere. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, just everywhere, everybody, everything you see, having a good time, very intoxicated, very excited for tonight. So I got a chance to feel it, experience it. It was electric. I need to get out to your place because I've heard your fans through everything are top scene in the country, no matter what's happening on the football field.
There's no doubt. I've already extended the invitation, and at some point, game day is going to come to us because we're getting better and better and better and better. And you know what? The atmosphere the light show, the Will Compton pre-video, like the Go Big Red was a celebrity. Like, and our crowd knows how to do it. They still get those good core Midwestern values. They're going to treat you right, treat you nice, but it is an intense place, and so can't wait for you guys to come see it.
Has Will been recording these with his new head? With his are these week to week recordings, or is this a preseason recording? We'll see him back.
He does them week to week, but he did not do Michigan State. We picked certain games for him that he can do, and so we have not seen it with the new look, with the baldy. I can't wait for that one.
No, you're saying the bald, actually, not the balding. Yes. Yeah, okay.
Sure,
Two different things. Yeah, the bald head, not because his hair is actually growing back pretty quick.
It is, no doubt.
He's got a good amount of hair right there. I told him we need to do hat. Like I called immediately and was like, hey, I have like the same hairline, I think, as you. That side shot they got you on Get Up, just rude. Like that is not, because now it's back, it's close. He's like maybe 2 weeks out. That's unbelievable work by his hair.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I think that's smart to save him for a bit. Look, it's coming back.
Yeah,
it's coming back.
It's a handsome fella.
It's a good bald head.
He's a good speaker, too.
Like Jason Statham.
Bingo.
Easy, coach.
That's awesome. Tone has a question for you, Coach. Just real quick, though, to kind of wrap up that entire, how is the game day trip to Beaver State? Everywhere has been insane. College football right now is, everywhere has been. We were just at Alabama, and obviously I'm with Coach Saban.
Oh.
That's awesome. I would recommend everybody try that one time. Just be at Alabama with Coach Saban. That was an absolute blast. It is. Yeah, it's so stupid how awesome it all is, and so lucky to be a part of it. And I can't wait until Show's back at Matt Rhule's team, just like it was at Baylor. Obviously, I wanted the Brazos there, and then I wasn't there. Temple got game day.
Yeah, we set records at Temple. We took over Independence Hall. Notre Dame came in 2015, and it was electric. The whole city of Philadelphia came out and supported. It was awesome.
It'd be an honor to do that there in Nebraska. Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I have a question about Maryland. I saw a tweet. It was before this last weekend. They have 8 true freshmen who've played at least 100 snaps this season, and the rest of the Big Ten, I believe, combined has 8 true freshmen that have done that. So these true freshmen have kind of led the resurgence for Maryland this year, especially quarterback Malik Washington, who was highly recruited. How do you prepare for a team that, with all these true freshmen, that you kind of don't know what they're going to be like? And is there anything that you take from your experience with Dylan last year as a true freshman to maybe kind of use against Malik in that Maryland team?
No, it's great. And to your point, the freshmen that they have are ballers. The 2 edge rushers are elite. The quarterback is fantastic. You look at what the Big Ten is going to be in a couple of years with what Malik's doing at Maryland, with Bryce Underwood's doing in Michigan, with what Dylan's doing as a sophomore. Like, the young quarterbacks are going to really, really, I think, elevate the conference at a lot of different places. Dante at Oregon. But I agree with you. Like, you're looking at them in the non-conference. Now, they've played 2 conference games, especially with the quarterback. You're trying to see, like, what has he seen? What has he not seen? How does he handle pressure? How does he handle zone coverage? There's not a real big book on the guy. Like last year, Dylan got off to a hot start, and then as he started seeing more things, it really is, as you face better teams, you start getting hit, and then the toll it starts to take on you. When you're 21, 22, as a quarterback, and you've been lifting for 3 or 4 years, you're a little more prepared for the rigors of playing in the Big Ten. Dylan went through that last year, which is why he redid his body this offseason. So we're looking at Malik's awesome. He's played great. Touchdown to interception ratio is amazing for a freshman quarterback. So we're just trying to look and say, hey, what are the things that we can do to affect him? Because no one has been able to affect him so far.
I'll tell you what, just a physical football game. Obviously, football is a physical sport, and Big Ten football is just known for its physicality. Thinking about an 18-year-old versus a 22-year-old is a very good point that you certainly have thought about whenever you're scouting or recruiting or utilizing in the transfer portal. Are you realizing younger quarterbacks right now at a premium because maybe transfer portal quarterbacks expensive? So whenever we talk about NFL teams, and I know you're at a place that has a lot of backing and operation, rookie quarterbacks on, I don't want to say on smaller contracts, but on a little bit smaller contracts, so you can build up the room around them. And then whenever you got to pay them, obviously you got to start picking and choosing. And I know there's obviously an endless supply of money at some places, and I assume Nebraska is one of those places. West Virginia is giving out scholarships.
Yeah, that's right.
141
Look
scholarships.
out.
Yeah, just know that. But is there something to that, having a younger quarterback, or is it just more for stability going forward with a guy?
I think what it is, if we're being, I've really thought about this, because I think this is the first year you're really seeing it. We were the first ones probably last year to do it, us in Florida, to really go play the true freshmen. But I think what you're seeing is some of these kids, like they could, 5-10 years ago, they would have gone to some perennial giant and sat and waited their turn. But if you do that now, you're going to get backup money. You can go now to somewhere that's a really good school that's playing big time football, and you have a chance to start as a freshman, and you can get compensated as such. And so why would you go sit and not make that money when you can go somewhere and start and make that money? And so I'm not saying that's the decision for everyone, but I think what we're seeing because of NIL and rev share is the talent is spreading out. Now there's some schools that just, they're going to have 40 million and it doesn't matter. They'll be able to collect everybody, but that's maybe 8 to 10 schools. The rest, everybody else, they all have about the same pool of money. So it's really about who's the smartest using their money. So I think you're seeing talent spread out. You're seeing guys take advantage of opportunities. And that's why it's really cool to see these young quarterbacks play, because if everyone only plays fifth-year transfers, the position of quarterback in college is going to get worse because we're not going to play young players. And wait till you see what Dylan's going to be like later this year, next year. The more he plays, the better he gets. And if he was sitting, right now, he would just be a guy. But because he's playing, he's developing into one of the best players in college football in my mind, and a high draft pick.
I love that you're forecasting. Wait till you see Dylan next year. Just from what we've seen, from what he's developed from day one to now, and what he went through last season, and you being pretty transparent about what happened, and I think him also doing that as a true freshman coming in, because it was a big conversation whenever he chose to come to Nebraska. Now, obviously, he has family ties up there, his dad on the staff, and you obviously an incredible coach who have an NFL tie as well. But him choosing Nebraska and then starting and being a star, and then you guys having guys score touchdowns without cleats on, it's great for, I think, for you to showcase too, like, hey, you come here, have success, we have success, we flip this entire program, then you can your culture's already put in place. That's a good place to be, and hopefully you're going to get there soon.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, when Dylan decided to come here, it sent a message to everybody that, hey, this is a place to be. And then all of a sudden, you watch. Now you look at our future recruiting classes, now you start to get the 5-star kids. Now you start to get the high 4-star kids. And we still always want to find the right kids for us. We're not just going off of rankings, but the best players in the country now know, wait, there's a hidden gem out there in Lincoln, Nebraska. Now they come out and visit, they check it out. But it's when the top players in the country choose us, like Dylan did, it sends a real message, and it makes us make Nebraska cool again. That's what we're trying to do. And that's what you guys are helping us do, and it's happening.
Hey, we're lucky to be a part of it, dude. And whenever you talk about if you get somebody there and experience it, I assume they fall in love with the place. Your people fall in love with it. And as Coach Saban says, you pay the wrong guys, you shit out of luck. And feels like you got to pick the right guys. Now, on that note, your guys, you're always coaching, always developing. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Coach, it feels like, we've talked about it today. Every game in the Big Ten is tough. Every game in, the SEC is tough, but sometimes there are upsets. And UCLA, Ty talked about with the travel with Penn State and everything. The UCLA upset over Penn State, that was a 21-point spread. That is a massive upset. And then, Texas and Florida, a little different, but still, I think people expected Texas to win in some capacity. Do you show your teams these upsets or, kind of the unexpected results at the end of the week just to kind of hammer home how often teams get got when they're not ready to play, no matter who they're playing, whether it is, prime time Saturday night or, a Saturday at noon? Do you show your teams those things?
Every week. And here's why. The example I use to our guys is if I say, hey, guys, let's go out we're going to go out and, do a little running. And I say, okay, take off. The guys will take off running. Well, if that turns out to be like a 20-mile run, they're not going to be ready for it. They didn't expect it, right? So a lot of these games, what happens is the teams are looking at this, Team B, and they're like, well, they're not very good. Okay, it's going to be like this type of a game. And then you show up, and that team happens to have their mind right that week. And all of a sudden, that 10-minute run becomes a 20-mile run in your mind, and you're not ready for it. So we want our guys to expect that every team we face is going to play their best game. And how does Illinois lose 63-10? No disrespect. And they come back the next week and they beat USC. That's such a good example of just the mindset, the things that happen each and every week. So I want my team to say to themselves, every team is going to be on 100 when they play against us. They're going to be at their absolute best. So we better expect that and be at our absolute best. There's nothing worse than having a team that thinks it's going to be easy, because the minute you think it's easy, man, if you don't show up for a street fight, you get punched in the face. You're not ready. And that's college football right now. The talent is more spread out. There's more noise out there. The kids hear this team's not that good. It's an easy win, and they start to expect it. And nothing's easy in today's college football.
18 to 22-year-olds mostly dealing with that as well. And also, we got school and life. And then you mentioned social media. It's like they see and hear everything. Keeping that age group all aligned, going in one way, is a tough task. And it seems like you're doing it out there in Nebraska.
Hell yeah.
Everything's still in front of your team. We can't wait to ride alongside of you. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Good luck in Maryland.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the head coach of the Nebraska Cornhusker football team, and also the host of House Rules. That is Matt Rhule. Yeah.